Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Knowledge in Relationships. This is your boy M3, and tonight we're gonna have some fun tonight, as always. So tonight we're gonna be talking about how has music affect us personally and our culture. Now, before we dive into it, I'm gonna wait for like just a little bit so we could get the numbers up since we're just now starting. So far, I got 3 people watching like on YouTube, one person watching on Twitch. So, for the ones who are watching on YouTube, please get the likes up. And also, too, if you're on Facebook and Twitch, come over to the Knowledge and Relationships like on YouTube. We're trying to build like our algorithm up. And probably like on the Facebook side, I probably will like, leave it up for a good like 30 minutes or so, but afterwards I will cut off the stream for Facebook and you have to watch the rest on the YouTube side. Now with that being said, shout outs to 100 watts, man. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to him on the Twitch side, so let me go ahead and give him the air horn. Okay. All right, so the reason why I feel like this is going to be a good topic to talk about is because we haven't talked about music in a minute and the effects of it. Okay. And so one of my biggest questions is that like growing up, okay, what was your favorite genre of music that you grew up listening to? Who was your favorite music artist? And how did that person affected you guys? So people who are watching in the chat, feel free to comment in the chat so then that way we can interact. While I wait for the rest of the crew to get here, I could talk about like stuff that I will say that really helped me. Um, excuse me. Let's see. First, I would go with the rap music. Now, although growing up as a kid, I was listening to like a lot of R&B, a lot of hip hop as well. Later on, and Tupac was definitely, to me, in my opinion, one of the most like realest rappers that really inspired me to be honest no matter what. And if I'm telling a lie, man, I need to really pretty much check myself. Shout out to Mr. Glucose. He says reggae music and alternative rock music. Yeah, that's a good one too, though. I used to listen to reggae and some rock. You know, hold on. Let me bring in one of the good homies, Knowledge Relationships, a network manager, Mr. Intellectual Soapbox. What up, my brother?
Hold on, I'm having laptop trouble. Hold
Okay, no problem. I'll put you in back and just let me know when you're ready.
on. All right.
All right. Oh, turn on. Let's see. Oh, my surround sound's not working for some reason. What's going on? Oh, what? I'm pressing the wrong button. Let me see. Sound check. There we go. Much louder. Okay. The gym be forcing the rock music on me. Hey, sometimes like you gotta rock out something that's gonna keep you moving. I mean, rock music definitely like helps like for me, but it has to be something that's fast paced. I just want to like just keep my legs, keep my body in motion. And a lot of times I'll listen to music, but sometimes even without words, just straight instrumentals. So if for me, that usually helps a lot as well too. So the other thing is, okay, synth music now these days, which is known as like the good old R&B classics. Now, I know there's been like a particular journalist that have been talking about R&B songs, and his stance with R&B songs is something that I've been kind of thinking of. If you ever notice, right? Okay, people who if you grew up around, especially like listening to R&B songs in the 80s and the 90s, most of the times in the 90s era, we're listening to like Jodeci, we're listening to like Jaheim, A Woman's Worth, and the songs that we're listening to all these songs that is teaching us about the foundation of love when it comes to, our women. Don't matter if it's black or whatever, but just for the sake of it, people have been talking about, um, black music that has soul to it. And so, one of the songs from Jaheim, like, Woman's Worth, or Put That Woman First, and salutes to you, Partly Cloudy. Thank you for
Party
tuning
Cloudy,
in.
what up?
Yeah. One of the things that put a woman first was like, I know he was telling like a narrative about what he was going through with his wife or whatever. I mean, I don't know if they're still together to this day, but he was doing like a lot of touring, traveling and all. And in the song, the woman's feeling neglected. So basically, if she's putting you through like the test of time or start playing these games, that's an indication for you to put that woman first. Drop everything that you're doing, your purpose, and make sure that by all means, you make sure she comes first before your whole entire purpose. And Mr. Glue says, damn R&B fellas was begging, yeah, begging their girl for love. And salutes to DJ Eddie King too, though.
Shit.
What's up, DJ Eddie King?
What's going on?
Hey, man, what
What's
up?
going on, Mr. Intellectual Soapbox as well? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much, bro. Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
going
we
on to
just-
everybody in the chat too, man? Y'all just we just chopping it up about music today, huh?
Yeah, man, because we haven't talked about music in a minute. And also shout outs to you, DJ AK, for this beautiful instrumental, man.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. No problem, man.
Yeah, definitely fits the theme.
Yeah, man. Let's get into this, man. This is what I feel, man. I feel like real music was back in the times with the Temptations, Five Heartbeats, the Birds, the Shy-Lights. Those were the days, man. The old school times. That's where real music happened. It does something to your soul, man. It brings that love and that energy, man. This is, it's not like the new era right now. It's like, to me, man. I don't know. It's everything just switched up, but it would never be better than the old school style. It's like the new era is like it's really no more love. I'm really talking about love. It's hard to find that. Basically it's about, shooting and all other kind of things, and a lot of times, that like far as the adults, like in their 40s, 50s, even their 30s, like they don't really listen to the new era music like that no more because it's nothing but negativity. But back in the days, man, was the good times. And I still listen to these old school music too. People look at me like I'm crazy, when I turn on some
Oldie goldies,
Temptations, Smokey Robinson, yeah, man. People look at me like I'm crazy, and a lot of times, they don't even know what type of music I'm playing. They heard it before, they just don't know who's singing it, or but it would never be like the old times. Never be like the old times, man. I hope it will one day, but right now it's just everyone's having a hard time. But go ahead.
Unfortunately, I don't really think so. I feel like all that lovey-dovey stuff is pretty much like dead in the water. And I have a kind of like a theory, to it, but I want to make sure that I get intellectual soapbox like opinion. Because together we're gonna decode a lot of things. We're just
go ahead. Share your thoughts. Go ahead.
Okay. So my thing is that, and it gets deeper into this. Okay, So Mary J. Blige and P. Diddy, they had a conversation, and in that conversation, they said that music was R&B was dead, you know, and they try to blame it on the radio stations for not playing our R&B songs, but you know that had nothing to really do with it. And also shouts to the Bloom and Ebony. New music is hard to listen. Nothing compares to oldies. Yep, that's right.
Shout out to
But
Blue Ebony, Mr.
Honorable
mhm,
memory.
Close, Pretty
mhm,
Cloudy 420. I see you, baby. I see you up there.
okay, hmm
Mhm.
but you know, to me, the radio stations had nothing to do with it. It's just that as people evolve or devolve or whatever mentally, they start to adapt and they start to adjust what they could really relate to. So at that time, okay, when we had the Temptations and you had let's just go. No, in fact, let's just go to the '90s. Okay, we had like Tyrese and all these other singers, singing about a bunch of love songs. Even Nelly, country grammar and all
Why
that.
you wanna act like
Like
that?
that. You know what I mean? Before he turned a black tie for a bit. That was a good album, by the way. But the point
Mm.
is, um, a lot of these dudes, right, really had high respect for women, especially for black women. And you wasn't really hearing like no black woman this and black woman that. They was more teaching us, hey, tolerate everything that we're going through with our own women, And I'm for sure, the Latin community probably had those same type of songs too, because they could be similar as well too. We're not the only ones, by the way. I'm gonna just put it out there, okay? Everybody who listens to R&B music, fell for, hey, let's go ahead and please this woman to make the relationship work. Because by the end of the day, we got to take the accountability if she starts to act up. Now, however, then you had the rap music, talk about, well, women's doing this, women's doing that. All they're doing is using for the money. To me, both was extreme. The R&B and the rappers that was talking bad about women. Okay? Even though both had some type of truth to it, or value, but then there was other parts that was devaluable. And so I think after a while, when men start to see like, okay, all this love songs didn't really work for the new generation of women, and feminism, kind of killed it because then they start targeting, mostly the men, especially black men. And then as the women, females get more masculine, and then the men start getting a little bit more feminine, it seemed like things started to kind of switch around. Now you have the thought music like Cardi B, Meg the Stallion or whatever. You have all these Nicki Minaj. You have all these people. Hell, you barely even hearing like a lot of love songs.
Greetings, Vaughn.
Salutes to you, and also
Greetings,
New
Mr. Bryant.
Growth, Old Soul. Salutes to you as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. Everybody, please get the likes up.
That's
Yeah.
so not true. Okay, New Growth. Tell us what's not true.
Mhm.
I can say it. I can say this in three.
Mhm.
You said the studio, the people, the radio stations is not responsible. They is because what they, and they'll tell you that they are. They will only play what's hot. So basically, whatever is hot is making them. It's making their studio more popular, and it's about I guess it's about people to get to listen to their station. It could be 106, and I guess it's about the station to get more people to listen to them. I guess I don't know, but it's they do have an opportunity to play certain type of music, any type of music they want, but they just don't want to do it because they feel like the song is not hot. You know, at the end of the day, a lot of times they don't even care about the song. They don't even care about listening to the song. As long as it's hot and everybody else is listening to it, like you got millions of people, then they gonna play it on the radio, even though they may not like it. But a lot of times in these studios, radio stations, they care about is views and how to help their brand name to go skyrocket high. That's all they care about. So it used to be cool back in the day. You could just play anybody's songs on the radio on certain stations. It used to be, but that's not happening like that no more. Now it's just all about the views.
Yeah, but see, it goes back to like what the people want. Because see, if it's about the views, and if the mass majority of people still love R&B, they would have been playing that because the people matter.
The people can want whatever they want, but it's still up to the guys in the radio station. They still can play whatever they want. They just chose to listen to the people. They chose to listen to the people. Yeah, they chose to listen to the people. They could still play it like right now. If you come out with a song today, it's their choice if they want to play the song. But if it's not hot, like if you're not over millions or some views, they're not gonna play it. They going by those rules now. And a lot of times, you got these rappers, they would have to pay the certain people in the radio station just to get their song to play. A lot of times they charge like $50,000, $100,000 just to get your song on the radio one time. But everything, the game has changed with the radio station.
Got you. Real quick, for people who are watching Knowledge Relationships on Facebook, come over to like YouTube, because after a while I will shut down the Facebook streams and you want to watch the rest on YouTube. So this is your last warning. And salute First Lady Tammy. I don't see no avatar, but salutes to you. How you doing?
Hey, Tammy.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I'm not even sure why you don't see my avatar. That's kind of weird. I don't know. Wait, let me see if I can. Oh, maybe I can fix it. Hold on. Oh, I might be able to fix it.
There you go.
I might be able to fix it. There it is.
Yeah, now we see you. And also, oh shoot, I just now realized something too on the YouTube side.
I'm gonna take it off because I don't want it. I need to fix it. I don't like my whole. I like because it's me and my daughter. I don't want.
No problem.
I'll fix it. So I mean, I'm gonna stay on for a little bit now, and then I go work out, and then I'll come back. But yeah, I'll be here for a little bit.
Okay, and EJ, I gotta fix you real quick because your avatar is not showing. Hold on, real quick. Okay, let me see.
My avatar?
I see it.
Well, no, we see it on StreamYard, but if you look at YouTube, it's a weird, stupid ass glitch, But that's StreamYard's fault. That translates to like YouTube. But there we go. It's fixed now. All right. New Growth says the business is very calculated. I will not go on into it, but I suggest this book called The Harvard Report by Dr. Logan Westbrook. They're using the music to control the people. Yeah. What you think, Mr. Best? Mr. Intellectual Soapbox?
It is definitely calculated, and I think that it's not about like what artist is hot. It's about like the record company paying. It's called payola. The record company will pay for certain people to get played, and there'll be artists who, have way more talent, can probably play every instrument known to man, and they won't get no play on the radio. They ain't gonna get no love because the record company ain't vouching for them. The record company ain't putting. They're not sending that $25K to the radio station to play that record. It's just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? So that's what's really affecting it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of artists and we just think like, man, what happened to such and such? You know what I'm saying? What happened to this artist? What happened to that artist? Like why why we don't hear from them or hear and we see that they making albums. We see that they releasing albums year after year. But we don't never hear none of the albums. If we listen to the album, we're like, yo, this album is fire. Like, why you never play this on the radio? You know what I'm saying? Because the record company ain't backing them. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting paid to play that record. You know what I mean? So if you don't have the backing of certain people in the industry, guess what? Your record ain't getting played, baby. You know what I mean? You could be the nicest MC out there. You could be the nicest Mr. Bryan throwing the classics out there. You could be that's music right there. What he put right there, now that's music. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be the greatest MC in the world. You can be the greatest singer in the world. If you are not paying that record, that radio station, they're not gonna play you. You know what I mean? They're not gonna play you. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
I said that they had to pay them.
Yeah, it's called payola.
Yeah.
So. The payola thing You know, in fact, it's not legal for them to do, right? It's not a legal thing, but they do it anyway because, you know, there's money under the table.
Oh
And
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? When they get the money under the table, they'll spin a record and you'll be able to sit if some of you still listen to the radio, which I don't. If you ever do listen to the radio, they'll play the same song hour after hour. You're like, well, damn, like I didn't heard this song like 20 minutes ago. Why are they playing this again? They got that check. That check got cleared. You know what I mean? They look on the phone and the Cash App there, or the Venmo, or whatever else, or the PayPal is up in there. Oh man, thanks for the 10 racks. I appreciate it. Now they're gonna play the song again. Man, if you didn't hear the song by such and such, hear it again. You're like, damn, we just heard it. Play something else. Nah, they got that check just got cleared. That's what that means. That money just came through. Now, I mean, before, you know, yeah, it would be about, you know, the talent and all this other stuff. And even back then it was politics, especially with us. You know what I mean? Because back then, you know, the politics was the record companies, they wouldn't even want to put our face on the cover. But I'm taking it pretty back. But they wouldn't even want to put our face on the cover. Salute to OG Patrice. When it came to us, like they would put like a white face on the album cover. They'll put like a picture of like a beach, you know what I'm saying, with a bunch of like, you know, anybody else but us. As long as it wasn't us, they wasn't putting us on the cover of the record. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you wasn't gonna see us chilling, you know what I mean, on the cover of the record, you know, decked out. Like it was not gonna happen. You know, so that's what we had to go through. And then remember, they wouldn't put us on certain networks. You know what I mean? Like MTV and all that. I mean, this is documented, so I can spit it. You know what I mean? So MTV wouldn't play, you know, Michael Jackson's video. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't play Whitney Houston's video. They would not play our videos. You know what I'm saying? You know, and these are artists that was having #1 albums across the world. Forget just America, across the world, and they still can get played in their homeland. You know what I mean? And that's less than 50 years ago. So, you know what I mean? These are things that we definitely have to think about and focus on. I love music. And I love what you know, how it impacted our culture, but we've had to go through a lot of stuff just to get our voices heard. You know what I mean, on the radio waves and abroad. So yeah.
All right, cool.
OG Patrice, what's going on?
Shout out to the OG
Patrice.
Yeah.
Hey, how y'all doing, family? How's everybody?
All right.
Doing good, OG, doing good.
Yeah.
Good. Salute to you guys. Salute to the chat. This is a very, very good and interesting topic, right? It's so much to cover and talk about. And when you talk about the influence of music, you know, with our culture over the many decades, since, especially in our culture, how a lot of the blues and soul music come from the heart of our culture, and it was actually hijacked by so many other races of people that stole a lot of our music. I mean, you could even go as way back as to slavery in the cotton fields, when, you know, your great, you know, grandparents or ancestors will be in the cotton fields or the sugarcane fields and picking, and they're singing and they're humming and they're you know, singing a lot of hymns, from, you know, gospel all the way to just soulful bluesy stuff. And when you look at coming from the South and the impact that the civil rights movement had on a lot of soul music, when you had people like Aretha Franklin, James Brown, Marvin Gaye, all these people talked about, Nina Simone. They did music that was definitely for the culture, that definitely made you feel proud to be Black in America, despite of everything we was going through. To see that how the music then has captivated us and made us to be a proud people, to make us fight, to make us stand tall for things, and then what the music is representing as a whole now. It's a whole 360. that has been done to our culture, and it's been due a lot to the detriment of some of the music that's being played now. I won't say all, but definitely some. I looked at thought about the fact now how a lot of our love songs, especially in R&B genre, the R&B genre is almost obsolete. It's damn near dead. If you really want to think about it, when you come from an era of music like I have, grew up listening to love songs, R&B and soulful music, that soulful gospel-y blues music, like all of that was all us all day, and it stems all the way back to our African culture of our ancestors. The dancing that we did, the rhythm, the beat of the drums, like everything with us was about a rhythm. You know, the way we walked, the way we had our heads up high, the way we dressed, our hair. We were proud of our natural hair. We were proud of the clothes that we wore that represented our culture. We were proud of our look. We wasn't ashamed of who we were back, especially in when you want to look at the civil rights on up to especially like the 70s and the 80s. For me, that those are the years that were really detrimental to my growth in being in the entertainment business, and seeing that music move the masses in our culture, seeing that it made us feel good. Even when we was going through rough times, you had songs that made us feel proud. James Brown, I'm Black and I'm Proud. I mean, Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, where he talked about all the things. And it's crazy because these are classic songs that are still relevant right today. They will never die. These type of songs. When you look back on the What's Going On and Mercy, Mercy Me by Marvin Gaye, these were songs that is relevant right today, especially What's Going On. Like if you listen to Marvin Gaye, What's Going On right now, with everything that's going on in the world, that song is perfect. It stands the test of time. And it makes me wonder, the music that we're listening to now, are they going to be classic songs like that anymore? Are the songs that's out now, are you going to be considering them classics and standing the test of time like your Marvin Gaye's and your Jane Browns and your Aretha Franklin's songs? So it has a lot to say with the change in the culture, and a lot of what the music has done to us as a people from then up until now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I definitely agree to that. Real quick, I gotta make sure that I let people on this Facebook know. Look, everybody, you know, where it be my auntie, shout outs to her, and other folks that's watching the Facebook side. Watch Knowledge Relationships on YouTube. The link is there. All you have to do is click on the link. If it's clickable on YouTube, I'm sorry, from Facebook, it will take you to our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to watch it there. I will definitely end the stream in a few seconds on the Facebook side. So consider that as a preview. If you want to watch the rest of the stream, you come over to YouTube. Okay? Shout outs to Be Easy, that dude.
Easy.
Yo, what's up? Easy. And all right, First Lady Tammy.
Beezy, what up, man?
If you're still around, I know you probably have something to say about music.
Yeah, no, I'm still here. I mean, I just think that just the mentality of people is different now than it was back then. I mean, you know, it's just interesting because you don't really hear any R&B songs. There's not even really any groups now. Just the whole mentality of the music is just different. It's nothing like it was back in the 80s or anything like that. And so I think that it is about money, and I think it is about demand. So, you know, whatever is popular is what the radio stations are going to play. So, you know, the music they play now is what's popular. That's what people hear. Unfortunately, And I say unfortunately because I don't listen to the radio, to be honest. I have satellite radio in my car, and I have my own playlist, which has a lot of old school music on it. But I don't listen to the radio. So, and even on satellite radio, it has podcasts and different things like that. So it's not necessarily music that you can always listen to on there. But even then, they have it where you can listen to old school music, and that's all you can listen to on certain channels. So I think people that enjoy that are just our mentality is a little bit different than what's going on nowadays, and it's just kind of sad to even what's popular and what people want to hear now, and what the kids are listening to is just mind blowing. I personally don't really understand the appeal of it, but that's this generation, and I'm from a different generation. So, what matters to my generation doesn't matter to what's going on right now. They think about things differently. They do things differently, and radio stations are going to play what everybody wants to hear. So if everybody wants to hear the thought music, then that's what they're going to play. So, but yeah, so I mean, I think just the mentality now is just so different than how it used to be. I mean, things are different than how they used to be. Just the way people deal with each other, the way people respond, all that kind of stuff. That just is just so different now, and it's not different in a good way. It's just different in a bad way, and it's hard to know when it's going to get better, or if it will get better. I mean, you can hope, but who knows? But yeah, it's just the mentality now. Is just yeah, it's kind of disturbing, to be perfectly honest. I mean, all the different things that you hear about the music industry and people in the music industry, and um, all that is just it's just kind of sad. So yeah, it's just a mentality shift that's happened. What people want to hear, what people care more about. And, I've said before that negativity is a very popular thing. That's what draws people's attention more than positivity. So that's what's going to make people listen to something is the negativity that's in it, not necessarily the positivity. I think that there was a lot more positive things in the music than what's considered old school music. There was a lot more positivity in it and uplifting in it and hope in it, and now that just seems to be going away or just non-existent depending on what song is out there. So yeah, so it's just mainly just the mentality shift and the negative and positivity is just yeah. So and I think for me, because I try to be very positive, it's hard for me to listen to certain things anyway. So but yeah.
And
All right.
I
Well,
agree,
thank you
Tammy.
first, Tim. Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
just want to reiterate a little something too. And because of the shift in the generations, and I get it because music changed from the time when I was a teenager up until the time I got grown. But it kept I saw it slowly projecting from a positive to a negative per the generations, right? Like every time. And there is a certain conditioning that gets into the psyche of our people from listening to certain type of music. If you don't believe that listening to a certain type of music can literally change your way of thinking and mindset, just look what being on social media have done to a lot of people, right? So um, when you have to sit in meetings and listen to music executives tell you that we're going to shift this generation of music. So now you as a rapper, you can't talk about what's going on in your community anymore. Tupac, you can't talk about Brenda Have a Baby. You can't talk about That's the Way It Is in the Hood. You can't talk about tell specifically black women to keep their head up anymore because you care, Tupac. Now you got to talk about black women and call them B's and H's, and you got to talk about getting high. You got to talk about that thug life. You got to talk about gang culture. You got to talk about sipping on syrup and taking pills and all of this. It was a mindset also, and it was the fact that a lot of these artists have have sold themselves for that, right? Because it comes from the hierarchies. Understand that. And we took the bag and we allowed that to happen. And now look where we at. If you want to talk biblically speaking, Satan, Lucifer, the devil himself was one of the most beautiful archangels with the most beautiful voice. And look what happened to him. And he knows in our culture, especially, and how we relate and feel about music. So, guess what? Guess where he crept in to the minds of our people by allowing us to sell out to that narrative through the music, through a lot of the negative music. And I'm not saying all of it is bad. Let me put the disclaimer out there for somebody start going in. Not saying that. But for the most part, there was a lot of evil in a lot of the music that is being played today. And what has it done? Look where we are. Look at the detriment it has caused to our community and in our culture, because we think it's okay to be half butt naked in videos and talk about your WAP and talk about, your lean and your Percocets, and we think that that's a cool thing to talk about gang culture and how you gonna shoot up this next person and run down on this person. Like, we literally now got this law called the rap law that they are trying to pass, where rappers are trying to protect the lyrics that they say in music, where they can literally talk about deleting somebody or going to delete and be safe from that with no repercussion. This is where we've come to. So, yeah, I understand how music changes from generation to generation, but I watched it not project upwardly, but project downwardly in a downward spiral for the most part for our culture and community. Unfortunately, I'm older, so I don't listen to that type of elevated negative music. Thank God for the music that I grew up on, that I still hold close and dear to my heart, that are classics. Like, I will listen to them till I leave this earth. I choose to not buy into the evil of a lot of the music that's out now. So it's about what you allowing yourself to listen to and buy into culturally, and allow your children to be exposed to. Because it's funny how Cardi B could put out a song about WAP for you and your kids to listen to, but when her daughter walked into the room when she was playing that song, she immediately cut it off. So we got to think about what's being pushed to us. What's being pushed to us, they're not allowing their own children to listen to it. And I digress with that.
I get to.
My bad, MJ. I wanted to give a shout out to where the rabbit hole ends. So I'm gonna give a shout out to him, man. It's a long time no see, brother.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. No, I was just trying to just to highlight Be Easy, that dude, because he's in the building, and I also want to give Be Easy a chance
Shout out to
to
Be Easy, Be Easy.
speak on music. So salutes to you, Be Easy. You still around? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm still here. What's up with it?
Hey,
Chilling,
nothing much, man.
chilling.
What you think about tonight's topic, Be Easy? Has music personally affected you? Should be pulling up your song. Oh, it is. How has music
I
personally
would say
affected you?
with this topic, I was saying this topic needs to be done in segments. You can't get everything out that needs to be said in one or two sessions, you know what I mean? Because there's so many different nuances, caveats, and different avenues that you could go with it. So I do agree for the most part what everyone was saying, but I think the discussion is pretty much incomplete, you know what I mean? So I think too much people like blame the music way too much, you know what I mean? And I do agree, that it has influence, effects, and everything, but it should never have more influence a song from Cardi B should never have more influence over your physical presence in the house. Most of these things come with disclaimers and say that they're not for kids anyway. So you already know that it's not for a kid. And yeah, okay, they may hear it at school, but you're already supposed to anticipate that and prepare their mentality so that when they hear it and deal with it at school, they won't succumb to all of the negativity. But when I know plenty of people in my family, people on all sorts of social media, when their kid was young enough and they should have been listening to Hannah Montana and Kids Bop, they had them listening to Mozzie, Lil Wayne, Little Bootsy. Is that the music or is that the parenting? You already know that the parenting says parental advisory. And
Uh-huh.
as a parent, you advised the kid that it was okay to listen to. Is that Little Boosie's fault? Is that Cardi B fault? We just admitted that Cardi B ran to go turn off the music when her daughter was playing it because the music is not for kids. She didn't make it for kids. You know what I mean? Plus, no one is
No,
being forced to
Cardi.
listen to this
Cardi was
music.
playing. Be easy. I just want to say Cardi was playing the music, and her daughter walked in the room where she was, and Cardi B turned it off.
Yeah, my bad. I kind of misspoke with that, but essentially I was saying she understands that the music is not for kids. That's why she didn't allow her child to listen to it. But most people, if they pick their kids up from work, instead of listening to the kids, Bob, they like, no, this is my car. I pay the bills. I want to listen to what I want to listen to, and the stuff that they want to listen to, the stuff that they choose to listen to, is highly explicit and highly vulgar. So they're exposing their kid to that. You don't even got to worry about the peer pressure at school. You know what I mean? You got to assume that kids is going to be offering your kids drugs and all sorts of you know, things for your kid to be a miscreant. You need to be having enough authority and influence to say, look, if this happens, this is how you should respond. Is everything gonna go according to plan and perfectly? No, but if you're letting music and TikTok and trap rappers raise your kid, how much could you just keep blaming the songs? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that they don't have an influence, but then we can go down the list and say video games have an influence because they have video games with sex scenes, the same music played, violence, guns, and everything. Then we can go to movies. I could talk about shooting someone, or I could play you a movie where you physically see someone getting shot, blood, guts, and gore splattering all over the screen. So, I mean, how do you quantify? Oh, the music motivates them and influences them this much. The movies motivates and influences them this much. There's never been any controlled test to say which one is more influential. But everyone knows that the parent should be more influential than them all. And maybe you won't be successful, but are you even trying? I see many kids at the dinner table hand their kids an iPad. They don't check. They got kids safe mode on the iPad. They don't even care. Here's an iPad. Here's an iPhone 12. Probably got a better phone than you. They looking at all sorts of, triple X adult sites. They seeing all these TikTok trends when they twerking and everything, you know what I mean? So it's a whole lot of stuff. And let me just address this. He said if you study these labels in 10, their target audience starts at 12. We have to know these things are calculated things. You're just making my point for me. If we have to know that they're calculated, which is why we need to be explaining this to our kids, right? If it's calculated, then you need to be calculated and strategic as a parent and say, look, this is the strategy. This is the plot and ploy against you, against our people, against society. This is how you're going to deal with it. You have to equip your kid to be better and to be able to, overcome the label's intent. Would you expect the label to teach your kid? If the label, yay capitalism, right? The label's job is to make money, not to teach your kid, not to educate your kid. If anything, is for you to indoctrinate your kid. So we got to take it away from the labels and take it away from the kids and bring it more from the parents. You know what I mean? Some people always want to be their kids' friends more than their kids, their parent and parental unit. You know what I mean? So I do agree that there is strategy and a diabolical plot, you know what I mean, to like dismantle and, you know, demean and disparage our culture. But no one is forcing. Look, I'll say this. I know plenty of Christians that love rap. Their favorite genre of music is rap. Ask them to name 10 Christian rappers. They'll be stuttering, stammering, beatboxing. Ask them to name 10 gangster trap rappers. They'll fly them off the map. Fly them off the tongue. You know what I mean? Why is that? They love rap. They love Christian. The bunch of Christian rappers that is supremely talented, but they don't even want to hear that. Even Christians don't even want to hear this Bible thumping stuff. But then they be the main ones wagging their fingers saying, "Oh, the culture of music, like the supply and
Mm.
demand." The reason why they keep it is because the labels are pushing this, but because people are buying it. Nobody wants to be twerking in the club to Jesus Walks With Me.
Mhm.
You just don't.
There's
I
one thing
feel
I
you.
would say.
I feel you. I feel you. Be easy on that. Mm. And I agree with the sentiment that the parents do need to do more. I definitely agree with you on that one, bro. But I think it has to be twofold. There has to be a duality. I love using that word. It's one of my favorite words. Probably is my favorite word. But it's a duality, right? Because mm, I think that the parents definitely need to do more, step up. You know what I mean? I'm not taking that away from what you said. But I think also as an adult, you know what I mean, or just as a grown human being, as a man, you know what I'm saying, or as a woman, you know what I mean, you know, people need to be responsible for the content that they put out there, not just for our community, but for all communities. I mean, I don't even think adults should be listening to this bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Let me not curse. I don't think the adults shouldn't be listening to this bull crap. To me, this is the lowest form of music that I've ever heard. People are talking about killing people. People are talking about they're smoking on people and talking about people's loved ones and all this. Like this is beyond music, man. And I hope that this law
But
doesn't
this
get
is what
passed.
people want to hear, though.
No, I don't. I
This
don't.
is
I don't
people.
know. I
This not
mean,
may not be
I
what
don't. I
you want
don't.
to hear,
I don't. I don't
but
think.
this is
I
what
don't think.
other
I don't
people.
think people. I don't think people want to hear this across the board. Because if that was the case, you know what I mean? Then Kendrick Lamar album wouldn't have been as successful as it was, and he wasn't talking about none of that. You know what I'm saying?
That's one artist.
No, but I'm just saying. J. Cole's another one who doesn't talk about any of that. There's plenty of artists who don't talk about these things, and they're very successful. You know what I'm saying? So I think definitely yes. You know what I mean? It could be done, and as successful as that Kendrick Lamar album was, you barely hear that on the radio, barely. You know what I'm saying? That was a multi successful album. He sold millions of copies of the album
Whose
that he just
fault is
released.
that? People don't be as dope as it is.
But
People not requesting it as
but let
much
me
as they
let me let me
should.
finish my point.
So
Let me finish my point, bro. Let me finish my point.
it's on the
Let me finish my
consumer.
point. Let me finish my point. So yeah, so it's yes, so it's definitely on the people, right? The consumers, the parents, all that. I'm with you. I'm not disputing what you're saying, bro. So understand that, right? Not disputing what you're saying. What I'm saying also is that it's also the reason I say it's duality is also on the artists too. You know what I'm saying? It's on them to do things that they know, especially when it comes to our community. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was a dope album, New Growth. I feel you. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I haven't even listened to that one yet. I've listened to all the albums. I haven't listened to the last one yet. But you know what I mean? With that being said, you know what I mean, it's up to also the artist to, you know what I mean, put out things that are positive. You know what I mean? To put out things that's gonna impact I'm gonna specifically speak to our community. When it comes to our community, you know what I mean? Knowing what our community has to go through, knowing the things that our community goes through, knowing that the things that we face economically, socially, politically, you know what I'm saying, and even in our education system with our kids and everything else, because all of us went to them hood schools. We all went to the PSs and the ISs and all that. We was in the middle schools and all that in the hood. You know what I mean? Before we went to maybe a high school and maybe we was really smart. And we went to a nice high school on the other side of town, or maybe we got busted in somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But most of us went to the hood schools. I know I did. You know what I'm saying? So when you go into the hood schools or whatever, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna be influenced by what's popular. Especially as a kid, you don't want to be left out. Kids are impressionable. You know what I mean? They want to feel accepted. I mean, hell, even adults are impressionable to a certain point. Not as impressionable as kids. Some adults, depending on where they at as far as the spectrum, as far as if they don't have like any mental health or anything of that nature. So You know what I mean? So with that being said, I would say this: the artists need to put things that are positive in their music. You know what I mean? I don't mind somebody telling the story. Look, man, if you sold whatever, if you was locked up for whatever, you want to tell your story, tell your story. But in that, let there be a message. I respect the artist who can tell a story, but in there's a message. This is the life that I used to live. This is what I was doing. I'm not doing that no more. I did the music, and the music helped me get a way out. I can respect that. You know what I mean? I can respect that all day because I want to hear. I want to hear about. I want to hear about how you went from one aspect of life to another. But the thing I don't respect is when you personally put this poison in the music. You know the kids are gonna listen to it. You know they're gonna find a way to listen to it, whether it's through you know whether it's through other kids or the parents not being there or whatever. Because a lot of parents are there. They are there. They there 24/7. They're trying to be there for the kids. They're trying to show love to the kids. Man, but the kids go to school and now all the homies are listening to it. All the homies like, yeah, man, you ain't see that Cardi B video, bro? You know what I mean? So if they doing that, you know what I mean? That kid don't want to feel left out. You're gonna be like, damn, like, what does it look like? And let's say there's gonna be a kid in that school that got a phone. We all know that. There's gonna be that one kid that got the phone. You know what I mean? And during lunchtime or during recess or during the time where they're away from the teachers, they're gonna pull that Cardi B video up. Oh, best believe. You know what I mean? We were sneaky just without technology. Can you imagine with kids with technology? Super sneaky. You know what I mean? So it's up to the artist too. So I think it's twofold though. So yeah.
Salute to Big Rig Slaps.
Big Rig, what up?
I mean, I think it depends on its what is the intent, because if it's up to the artist to make money, I do hear you, and in a perfect world I would love to hear them, but once again, people say, I'm not talking about you, I'm just talking about in general, people love to preach positivity. But then when you look at their life, they're not watching positive movies, they're not reading positive books, and they're not listening to positive songs. They just kind of wagging their fingers saying, why is the music like this? It's like you have other options to listen to. You have other artists, genres. There's more artists and genre than ever, but somehow they gravitate back to whatever they claim to be as toxic. Like, if it's so toxic, like, why do you keep going back to it? You know what I mean? And if in a capitalist nation someone is trying to make a profit, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but these labels, it was JT the Bigger Figure, Papoose, and several other artists said, look, I want to speak a positive message. And the label said, no, that does not sell. But talking about, the dysfunction and depravity, that does sell. Even amongst our own people, we will say afterwards how something got to change. Someone has to do something. And then you tell people, hey, tell me the positive rappers you're supporting, and then they start naming off the same people that they just said was a trap rapper, mumble rapper. So you mean you can't tell me no positive rappers that you support, no Christian rappers that you support? If I say right now, you know what, I still love rap, but I don't want to listen to any vulgarity, is there anyone that you could recommend? Crickets. Why are people over here saying, complaining about the music? Why are you complaining about what you enjoy? You know what I mean? People over here watching John Wick talking about it's just too much violence. No one forced you to watch John Wick. And then I look at your movie list, and then you watch Matrix. And then I would look at your movie list and you watch Boys in the Hood. And then you're talking about positivity. No one is forcing you. When you got free reign over your Netflix thing, and you always go to action stuff that has shoot 'em up, bang bang. Go to the
I
video games.
agree.
No one is playing. Yeah, they ain't playing Pac-Man type video games. They
I
playing
I
Grand Theft
agree,
Auto.
but we have been conditioned, right? Social engineering. We talk about this all the time to sometimes be attracted to the things that we know is a detriment to us. I was shocked beyond measure with my ex daughter-in-law, who is heavy in the church, have my granddaughters in there damn near 7 days after we, and then come calling me, asking me, can I hook them up or help them get some tickets to see Meg the Stallion? I didn't even know they was watching Meg the Stallion, knew who she was. I was like, the hell to the no, I will not. Like, no. I said, look, if they don't have any teenage positive role models that is rapping or singing that I can help with the tickets to go support, I will not pay one dime for them to see. Now, if that's what you want to do, that's your daughters, that's fine. I said, but you got them in church damn 7 days a week, and you asking me for help for tickets to go see some Meg the Stallion, and one is my 14 and the other one is 16. No, hell to the no, not doing it. Not my money, no way. So you're right, but it's funny that, like you said, it's the things that sometimes that we tend to gravitate to that is not for our betterment, and we know that that's social engineering and conditioning. So I agree with you on that part. But the same way we bought into it, we have to buy out of it, and then it starts with the mindset and hoping, say for the instance, by the time my grandkids get grown, that this whole era of this drill music will stop and the trajectory can head back up, right? Because when you looking at it from that perspective, yes, there are some parents that have just let their kids listen to anything. That is true. And then you got the parents that is strict on the kids that try to do the best that they can, and the kids gonna sneak and they still gonna do it when they're around their friends, when the peer pressure is on. Yes, all of that is true. But you can try to control it as much as you can, but you're not with your kids 24/7 when they're in school, when they're with friends, sometimes hanging out, or whether you're not there, you don't know what they're doing. You can only hope that over the years of the positive things that you instilled in them and raised them to believe and to believe in and to have character and moral values, you can hope that for the most part would outweigh all the negativity in the music that's going on in the world when it comes to especially the drill rap, right? And a lot of the rap from these female artists out here that has literally brainwashed a lot of the younger women and the teenage girls to thinking that their natural bodies are not good, that their complexion is not good, that their natural hair is not good, that they got to wear these long ass nails and all of this. Like literally it's social engineering of being bought into that and also the peer pressure from the outside world as to say, girl, you don't wear your nails like this, you ain't got on this designer, you ain't this. Like we do that to each other, right? So of course that comes from a certain amount of lack of self-respect, a lack of self-love, a lack of self-image, all these things that have been we have been conditioned to believe about ourselves, and we kind of buy into it, and then we want to make these excuses. Is I can do what I want. This is my body, and I'm grown. Yeah, you're right. But what's the deeper root of the problem in what we're listening to? What's the deeper root of the problem making you not like your natural body? What's the deeper root of the problem? So it's deep. It's a lot deeper than this conversation is to be had probably as to why we're making the choices that we make. And a lot of it does have to do with conditioning and social engineering, the media, reality TV, music, entertainment, what's being allowed and pushed forward, and it's being accepted in our culture.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Miss OG Patrice. Real quick, I want to give a shout outs to Big Rig Slap. Thank you for tuning in, Big Rigs. And then DJ Eddie. I saw like earlier, like, I'm sorry, not unplugged, but unmuted yourself. There was something that you had wanted to say?
No, I mean at first, but not anymore. I was gonna say, Crazy Bone actually talked about how the Evil Genius music started. The plan. I don't know if y'all saw that video, but it was deep to me.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah,
and he was spot on, 100% right.
Yep. And see, and it, but that right there just tells, and that story, I still can't find that story. The story that he was talking about, I can't find it anywhere. So
they probably took it down. They probably took it down or made him take it down.
Yeah.
People that don't want
them,
that type of message to get out. So it's probably been taken down if you can't find it.
No, I'm talking about there was a book. The guy came out with the book when he was talking about it. I don't even know the name that he mentioned. You know, when I look it up on Google anywhere else, I can't even find that name. I can't even find the book. So they probably just took it off, like completely took it off. But that goes to show you and tell you that a lot of these rappers, you know, they know a lot. They just don't tell us, you know. And every time they up the top, they'll tell you, you know, look, I'm not happy. You know, I got $1 million and stuff like that, but this is not a blessing. This is not a blessing from God and all this stuff. And they'll tell you they are not happy, even though they're rich. So they know a lot than we do. Hey, Queen,
Hello.
What up?
how you doing?
Hey,
Good.
hey, Queen.
Chip, chip,
Queen,
chip.
Queen, we just talking about music. I know you just came in here. We're just talking
I'm-
about uh music, basically.
hey. I saw the title. I read.
Okay. I was just making sure.
But thank you, Eddie. Thank you.
Okay.
Let me touch on that one time. I'm gonna be real brief.
Mhm.
Um, I heard Be Easy speaking, and I heard the topic. Shout out to Marcus, man. I see you, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Shout out to Marcus.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. When it comes to the music thing, man, I feel, man, I don't even want to use that word. Why the fuck I start off with that shit? When it when it comes to the music thing, man, it's very, very influential. You know what I'm saying? But it starts at home. How you deal with it. Me personally, I said this before. My son, his playlist is my playlist. Everything that I listen to is on his playlist, on his Xboxes, on his everything. But I also talk with him, and he knows that it's entertainment. He knows that what we listening to, we ain't putting that into any of our life regiment. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just music, and the reason why I'm leaning when it comes to it is
You in the Matrix.
when,
You in the
what's
Matrix,
that?
Big Rig.
You
You
breaking
in the
up,
Matrix.
Big
You in
Yeah,
the
Rig.
Matrix.
basically going in
Big
and out.
Rig.
Is it better? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Am I still in the matrix though?
Not
No,
no
you
more.
good.
Okay, so like when it comes to him, you know, he's in junior high, or he's gonna be starting junior high, and you know they're gonna be listening to all kind of stuff, man. And if he wasn't hearing it from me, he's gonna hear it from them, but he's gonna get a whole different look on it through his friends. They ain't gonna game him up on nothing. They gonna be more trying to imitate it. With me, he knows this ain't nothing to be imitating. You know, it's just music, man. We like the way it sounds, the beat, you know, the way the flow is riding the beat. You know, he when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? My parents let me listen to Two Live Crews and all the, you know, crazy records and stuff, but I had to be respectful. It wasn't like I was playing it loud in my room, and it wasn't like I was in the car. Hey, can I play the tape? You know what I'm saying? Like they knew it was just music. They knew that I wasn't trying to be on what the music was saying. You know, we had an understanding. So I just feel it just really starts with home. I'd be a fool to say that the music isn't influential though, because me being in music, I've seen it a lot with a lot of the artists that come in and it ain't in them, but they feel it's in them because they're spitting those lyrics, you know what I'm saying, on the mic, and they're trying to really, you know, become what they saying because of what they
Mhm.
hear. So, but again, it starts, you know, it starts at home, man. That was just a little on it.
Yeah, no, I hear on that one. Um, yeah, basically, like it does start with educating at home, because I mean, yeah, music can be music, but you have to kind of understand what you're listening to. And if you're talking about for more like the younger kid, the younger crowd, yeah, like they pick up on something And if the parents are not really educating, hey, you know, whatever they say, just know those are entertainers. A lot of that street stuff that they be talking about, you know, half of it could just be cap. You know, half of them don't really live that entire life, but they go by what the regulator is telling them. So the responsibility does go on both ends, where it goes to the listener. But then I don't really look at just like, okay, you can say the artist or whatever, but I look at the entire industry because I remember, like, you know, when Drake was doing R&B, they initially wanted Drake to be like one of those Cash Money gangster type of rappers, and he told him no because he don't really live that life. So he started doing his own thing, and he was making hits. So by him just being like a you know, I guess a quote unquote in the community what they call it, a soft core rapper, because he's not talking about a lot of street shit, street stuff. You know. Now later I could kind of see that Drake is trying to get into that a little bit, but to me that's not going to really last. You know. Um, and before I even get to Queen, because I know she just got here, I just want to just kind of leave like a question that could just be rhetorical. So you guys don't have to answer it, but think about it like this. Um, and no problem, Riggs. I understand about the Wi-Fi. When whenever when someone like drinks alcohol, most of the time they do it because it gives them liquid courage. I think it's the same thing when it comes to music. Music gives people musical courage to do certain things is because it was already in the heart of the person that wanted to do that type of stuff. So if you was already in the mood to beat up someone, you're gonna play some music that kind of relates to that. You know what I mean? So regardless if the parents taught you better or not, eventually it's also the responsibility of the individual that's listening to certain music to get themselves enticed.
I was just finna say that.
Mhm.
M3. I was just finna say that. Even though people say that it starts at home, a lot of times it do, but but
Mhm.
it's almost like, man, you got to move to like a different country or something just to get away from like the music that you don't want your children to listen to, or type of movies that you don't want your children to watch. You got to. That's kind of impossible. Um, and and also what I want to say is that we are old enough to choose what we want to listen to. We can't sit up here and point the finger at the at the devil or anybody else. It's us. We have a choice to listen to it or don't listen to it. But sometimes we chose to listen to some of that stuff.
Mhm.
That's it's really us. It's us. We have to choose. We have to make a choice. We can't blame nobody else. Even though all this stuff started by an evil genius, I can't lie. It was a genius for this, but it was evil way to do it. It starts with us.
Mhm.
We don't even have to be at home. It starts with us. I'm not getting at nobody or nothing like that. I'm just saying it starts with us.
No, I hear you though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Could I just add on to that real quick because and that's essentially the point that I was making because uh LeBron James, whether you're a fan of him or not, whether you think Jordan is better than him, I know the dude was brought up, if I'm not mistaken, by a single mom. I'm not sure, but either way, he came up, really started from the bottom. He got in the league, millions of dollars. He has his kids going to the most prestigious schools. But when LeBron is on Instagram,
Mhm.
you know what type of music he be listening to, bro? You know
Uh-uh.
what I mean? It's nothing positive what he listened to. He listens to the shoot 'em up bang bang, and he be right on what would be considered, i.e., trap gangster music, but he's still on the straight and narrow. I'm out here in the Bay, bro. I know plenty of people in Walnut Creek, Danville, Alamo, Blackhawk They be listening to Mozzie, bro. What they don't be doing, flying colors. What they don't be doing, drive-bys. Why exactly is that? They're literally listening to the same music, bro. They love Mozzie. Most people I know, they be looking for a bootleg, so they be downloading the song. These other groups, they go out of their way to buy the music, but
Yeah.
yet it's not
But
affecting
again,
them.
be
It's still the
easy.
same
It,
toxic music.
Hold on,
but
everybody.
again, it's different mindsets. It's different mindsets. People are wired different,
That's my
and
point.
and
It's a
how they
mindset.
brain consume it, and they a lot of times it's a product of how they were raised and a product of their environment as well. It's a combination of things. Of one thing that you and I could have grew up in the same era, the same neighborhood, the same went through some of the same traumatic things, but it affected me different than it affected you, or vice versa. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I mean, and it's just
No, I
30
real.
seconds,
Like
you
understand
we,
guys.
that.
like
Mhm.
we got family members, that grew up with us, in the same environment, same home, same parents, same situation. Wanna end up on drugs, and one won't, or wanna end up on the streets, selling it or doing something, and one won't.
And
So it's
I
it's it's it's
understand
a
that.
it's different mindset in the things of how it
5
affect us
seconds.
in our brains.
Yeah. Hold on for 1 second. Be easy. I'm gonna give you 30
And
Yeah, no,
seconds.
I
also
understand
along
that.
with
Wait,
choices. Also
hold on.
along
Yeah.
with choices.
Wait, hold on, G. Hold on. Be easy. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds, and I gotta jump to Queen. All right.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
it's good. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's all it will take.
All right.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree. Like I said, this conversation, every time you speak, is a bunch of nuances and caveats that need to be interjected. Otherwise, people's statement seems incomplete. You know what I mean? So I'm not necessarily disagreeing, but the music ain't gonna change, right? No, none of us could force these labels to stop handing out millions for these people to stop making this music. So what we need to is have the mentality, the mental fortitude to be able to combat what's not going to stop.
Yeah. Thank you. Be easy. All right, Queen. Are you here?
Yes.
Okay, Queen. Tell us, how did music affected you growing up? I know I'm
Um,
paraphrasing it, but
I don't know. I mean,
it's a little Mr. Ball.
I didn't really I didn't really listen to too much rap. I liked reggae, house, techno, and R&B. But I think it's you know, I do think it's a mindset, but I think it's also, you know, unfortunately, we like the gangster rap and all that stuff, and a lot of kids, they don't have the home structure to, you know, determine what is what. Everybody want to live that life that they see on TV or in the music videos. They want to live those lyrics out, and I think it's it can be a poison, you know. Um, and I think other cultures, they listen to it, because that's what they listen to, but that's not what they don't. I don't know. I don't know. I think music, we need to do better, you know. And I was watching something that talked about how they destroyed the R&B music because it was positive, you know, and how when there's a rapper out who doesn't curse or use the N-word, be this, hold this, they mock them. So, it's almost like they want the poison. If you keep eating poison, you're going to be affected. So, if you listen to it enough, it does affect you, you know. So I don't listen to it. It gives me a headache.
It's kind of like the
But
same
even
way of
though,
manifestation. Because you know
Huh?
how it's almost kind of like the same thing how people talk about this manifestation part, or whenever somebody is rapping about something that's negative in a rap song, let's say they talk about, like, deleting, deleting, deleting. or their cells getting deleted. And I feel like eventually you start talking into existence, and then eventually it ends up happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think it does affect you when you don't have, the maturity, or you're not taught to distinguish the two. Like, my parents, I mean, I don't, they listen to some music, but they like turn that trash off in my house, so I didn't listen to it. So, I don't know. But some people just, they, I don't know. It's weird. It's like they, but I think it's also has to do with like people idolizing artists too. So when they listen to the music, they almost want to become that person because they idolize, that person. So I think it's a behavior that goes along with the mindset. So
Yeah, it could be some of that too.
I'll be right back.
I agree, but it was just like when Kanye spoke and said, they tried to tell him that Jesus Walks with Me wasn't going to be the hit globally, but he did it anyway, and look what happened. So I think that it depends on, like you said, the influence of the person, because by that time, Kanye had made a mark already. But even when he did Jesus Walk, the believers, the Christians, the secular, all of them, they bought into it and loved it, and it was a hit for him.
even Kirk Franklin Stomp and Mary Mary, Shackles Off My Feet was played on the radio in the club. So I mean,
sure was.
It doesn't have to. This is the problem. It doesn't have to be that violent. It doesn't have to be that. But I forgot to send it to you. Be easy, but like the guy I was talking about in the TED Talk, he was saying that the radio execs or the music execs, they want to hear, they promote it, they want to hear the violence, the killing, the
Yeah, you won't get signed
unless
you do
I saw that TED
Talk.
Queen. You
yeah,
right.
if you have the link, I will still love that link, Queen.
Oh no, I'm gonna send it to you. I was looking for you. I don't think I'm friends with you on Instagram, but I was looking up your name, Be Easy, but I didn't know it was that dude. So where's Big Rick Slaps? He gonna mock me, but
listen, like far as the music, y'all, I think y'all missing the point. Jesus Walks, there were consequences if that was going to be on the radio. It don't really have anything else to do with money. There's something else going on that they going through. So that's Jesus Walks was a consequences. You put this up.
No, I'm not talking about.
What do you mean by?
I was talking about.
We're not mean by consequences.
We're not. Listen, there has to be some type of deal in place in order for anybody to even put something up like that. Now, the thing with Kendrick Lamar is different. I don't really hear like Jesus Walks or anything like that. I can see he performed with the suit and stuff like that. But with Kanye West songs is all that's what it's all about with him, with Jesus Christ. And there were consequences.
Yeah, but they played it on the radio.
They
played it on the radio.
Yeah, but listen, check this out. We play this, you got to do this. There were consequences. There were big consequences behind that.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they were big
consequences. Could be good and bad.
No, it was bad.
Well, it ended up being good, even for the label and the execs, because it made money. If it made money, it made sense to the music execs, even though they was against it when they saw how popular and how much money it made them. Oh, they shut up real quick.
Yeah, but of course it's going to make money, but the money thing it can make money, but there's still consequences. You got to understand that, like, the evil that we don't see is too thirsty. The evilness is too thirsty. Listen, you play this, even though you make a lot the money has been made, but you still got to do this up over here, because our goal is to play negativity. That's it. That is it. So everybody
I
that
get
playing good
what you're
music
saying.
suffers the consequences, especially if you go on radio. You guys are doing something behind the scenes that we don't know, that you don't want to talk about. There's consequences.
I get what you're saying, but I
Yeah.
don't believe for people like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole that there's necessarily been consequences for them because they have chose to stay in the lane of not doing gangster rap or negative rap, talking about gang culture and violence and drugs and disrespecting women. I believe that they listen, they obviously there is a lane. There's a lane for it. It is still people that want to hear that type of music. It's still people that grew up wanting to hear the positivity. It may not be to the masses as being pushed with the negativity, but there is a lane for the J. Coles and the Kendrick Lamars of the world. If it wouldn't, they wouldn't exist. They wouldn't have didn't have the success that they have in the industry, right? So there is a lane for it and there's a demand for it. But we have to do our part too as consumers as to what we continuing to support as well when it comes to the music.
Yeah, but don't no man or no woman get off the hook. You still got to pay the consequences. Don't know, man. I don't care who you is. If you up on the level of J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar, it don't matter. If you're playing good music, there's still consequences. The goal is to play negativity. That's it. I just want y'all to understand how evil of the level it is.
No, we do. We all
like,
do.
Yeah. So there's consequences. I guarantee you, there's consequences. They ain't gonna talk about it, but they know.
No. I get what you're saying. I'm in the business,
Even
so
though
I
the
know what
people,
you're talking
yeah,
about.
but
I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. I'm just saying, even though the song can be good, we can listen to it, and that's fine. We love it, but you know, a lot of us can't see what's going on behind the scene. A lot of these people are not happy, especially if when they could be rich and they're not happy, and they'll come out and tell you. I mean, of course, not on no stream, but
that's why it's always wiser and smarter to do what people like Chance the Rapper did, be an independent, because you could do it your own way and nobody is controlling you when it comes to the music execs because you're not signed to these big labels, right? So when it comes to being an independent rapper, and that's how a lot of them got on, by starting off being independent. And hopefully they won't choose to sell out for the bag, because once they get on the label, then it's absolutely a lot of the creative control is not in their hands anymore.
Yeah. Are you talking about like for any rapper or on like certain level skills like Drake's skills or Kendrick Lamar's level type? Like what's level are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about anybody that has gained popularity as an independent rapper, the way Chance the Rapper did, right? So if he stayed in that independent lane and does not sign up with a big record label, unless he got an immaculate contract where he's not going to give away his creative control over what he puts out, he will be controlled by the industry to a certain extent. You sign that contract, you have to give up so much of your publishing, so much of this, so much of that, blood, sweat, and tears in it all, right? And especially if you sign to a big label and you are not that big of an artist already, like Chance had become independently. Let's say if you real popular local in your city, like a maybe like a Mo3 was, right? And you're independent. And then when you get the big label, it's so much of that sacrifice. Absolutely. You're going to give up, no doubt about it. Or you can either stay independent the way Chance chose to do it and not be controlled by the music execs, if you know what I mean. Because keeping that control in your own hands, that's your own destiny to go the way you want to go, to play the music, to write the music, to rap or sing the music the way you want to do it and get it out to the masses.
Yeah, but okay, OG Patrice, listen, let me tell you how level the evil is, right? You don't have to sign a contract. Like if you're on the level of Mo3, okay, that's cool. That's all right, but Mo3 is not as big as J. Cole and all them. When you get to that status without signing the contract, somebody will pay you a visit either way. Somebody will get a percentage either way. You don't even have to. sign a contract. But
I get that part.
I'm just
I'm
telling
not
you,
lost on that part.
yeah, somebody's
They
gonna pay
will
you
come
this.
at you, but it's your decision if you subscribe. If you decide to subscribe to that, if you decide
Right,
to
right.
sign your blood literally on that dotted line, right?
But yeah,
That
but even
you
if
know
you
what I
don't,
mean?
there's gonna be consequences if you don't. I just
Well,
want to.
yeah, they'll try to make it hard for you, but if you built up a fan base, like Mo3 had a pretty large fan base without a major record deal, right? Same as Chance the Rapper. They had already sold to the masses already, so they were big in their own right. So the decision truly, literally, is up to them. Yeah, there were probably roadblocks of people trying to stop things of that nature, but the luck that Chance had behind him is that his parents they had money.
Yeah,
So they were
Mhm.
able to push him and support him forward. Mo3 probably hustled his way up,
yeah,
I'm sure. So it's different scenarios and how both of them became independent. Like most of them, that's a lot of these drill rappers and all that's how they started coming up independent before they got the big deals, is through hustling on the streets to get that money, to get it in the studio, to make it work. Because a lot of them came from poor families. But once they signed that big record deal, then yeah, the narrative changed for them. It absolutely does.
yeah.
I think one of Chance's parents is a Democrat or some type of politician or something like that, or one of his uncles or
Yeah, and it
something
was
like
real cool with the Obamas and all that. Like
that. Hmm.
his parents had money, so he come from, you know, of a certain amount of wealth that was able to project and push him forward into his career and what he wanted to do. But not to say that he didn't work hard for it either.
Yeah,
So,
it's not
because
what you know,
you
it's
you
who
can
you
have
know.
all the money in the world, but if you don't have good music or rap or beats or whatever to that the people like, they don't care how much money you got behind you. They ain't buying it if it's garbage.
Right,
Period.
right, right.
That let me just add on to that. I agree to an extent, but this is where we have to be better, because what happens is we don't validate these artists until they get into a predatory 360 deal by some shady label. It will be the same artist playing the violin on the corner, spitting his most fire bars, and you'll walk by him. He'll have a guitar case open. You won't put nothing in there. You'll acknowledge how fire the song is, but you won't do anything to support them. Then they get on a label, a predatory deal, and they basically are a puppet. Gotta put out what the label wants because they need to feed their family. And then people start complaining, why are they putting out this devil music? Won't he just put out positive music? He was on the corner putting out positive. The label said, hey, look, we do got something for you. And they prey on these people, you know what I mean? And of course, like New Growth said, it's way deeper than what we discussing. What we talking about is just like surface level. But a lot of these artists would be able to go independent if the consumers start supporting these artists directly. Everyone has like Cash Apps, DMs, PayPals, Patreons and stuff, but people will be looking for a artist to be on a major label that's going to screw them over to get validation. That artist was talented, which is why the label chose to sign them. But people don't want to acknowledge or recognize the talent until they get into a contract that's going to screw over an artist that they supposedly revere. It's pretty backwards.
I agree with that. And then not only that, we feed off of each other with jacking each other up in these horrible contracts. Even people that look like us that are executives. Prime example is Cream Puff Honeycombs. What he did to his own artists, and other people like him. It because they got the raw deal from the hierarchies of the Caucasian persuasion. They get up there, earn their way, earn they keep up their hustle, bustle, whatever, and then they do the same thing that was done to them to their own people. And it's a vicious cycle of that, right? So at what part, so I get why a lot of people choose not to go the big record label route and say, if I got to hustle and get it, I'm a hustle and get it as an independent artist. Some people are totally fine with staying independent because they having a certain level of comfort and wealth that has allowed them to do that. Like Chance the Rapper, he's buying up real estate. He's going into
Control.
other stuff. He's starting his own label. He's,
That's what
he's
Young Dolph
also
did.
working with other artists. And this is what we need to do more of instead of falling into the traps of the big record labels and the music execs that we know already is going to take more than 60% of our publishing and leave us. But we did all the hard work. We did all the touring. But they'll give you a package, say if $1 million deal, a car, a house, buy your mama a house, give you the car. Oh, we're going to give you $1 million
They'll give you an
off of
old
that. But
Bentley.
what they ain't telling you is that concert tour you about to do, your dancers, your music, all of the theatrics, all of that is coming out that budget.
Autographs.
All of that is coming out that budget. And when you get through, you lucky if you got a dime left. Who was that? I'm trying to think. One of them artists said they couldn't believe what after it was over, all that they did, and they got a check for a couple of dollars and some cents. I forget who it was, but it was somebody real big at the time, and they didn't understand that they literally were signing, not realizing that all of that, your road manager, your tour people, your bus, your hotel, your meals, your clothes,
producers,
your makeup, your hair, producers, writers, everything comes out of that budget. But they'll say, yeah, we're going to give you $1 million advance. See, people don't know that that's a lot of the back end stuff that goes on, that if you're not knowledgeable to the music industry, that's what has happened to so many of them. Look at all the people coming out now that's exposing cream puff honeycombs. You got Mace even coming out now. Listen, Mace talked about how he was promote himself at one time, wasn't getting paid at all. And then when he, had a conversation about it, they end up giving him $15,000 per performance. And he was the opening act. But Mace was doing a lot of the other stuff, like writing for other people the same way Biggie was. But what the publishing deal that they was got by, who, did nothing. Like, people don't realize Big was in debt. He was broke when he died. Like, real talk. Mace is coming out talking. So many other people that come out talk about the raw deals that people that look like them did for them. Because that's what was done to them when they first came in, when the Clive Davises and all those peoples of the world gave Diddy and Andre Harrell and Russell Simmons and all of them they deals. They effed them, so then they just started effing their own people after they got up there, and it's a vicious cycle that goes on.
OG Patrice,
Allegedly, of course.
They're only talking about that because they're not on the level that they used to be anymore. That's why they're coming out talking about it now.
No, that's not the only reason. They're talking about it now is because when Mace tried to buy his publishing back from Diddy for $1 million, and of course Diddy wouldn't give it to him, and Mace is still getting royalties, so Mace ain't hurt now. But he was talking about once you come to the knowledge of something and realize the wrong that was done to you, now I'm going to speak up so the other people coming behind me need to know more about the music industry, because when they all came into it, they knew zero. So when you see people like what was his name, Black Rob, that died broke, so many of them. Biggie was broke when that happened to him. Lil' Kim had to file bankruptcy. Mary J. Blige was broke for a while. Listen, and these are the same people that's coming and saying, look, I done made millions and millions of dollars, and I'm not seeing where this money is going. Like, I'm not seeing no residuals from this.
OG Patrice, I have a question to ask you too, because you mentioned Mace's name, and I was always kind of curious about Mace's life a little bit, like behind the scenes, because excuse me, because in Bad Boy, he started as I don't know, I don't really consider him like a gangster rapper, but he had a smooth little flow, and then later he kind of left a little bit and then came back, and they started doing, I guess, more conscious music, I guess trying to represent the Lord, and then he became a minister. But I think after that, then I guess the old Mace came back where he had the gangster persona. So can you tell me if what really happened to him a little bit?
I won't say that.
OG, let me give a little history of Mace real quick for you, Bill. All right.
Okay.
So being from New York, I know this for a fact. Mm-hmm. Mace was a gangster rapper when he started. He was part of Yeah, he was a part of a group
Okay.
called
Yeah,
Children of
because
the Corn.
he was called Murder Mace.
Yeah, so Murder
He
Mace.
dropped the
Mace.
Okay.
murder.
Okay.
He was a part of a group called Children of the Corn
Mm-hmm.
with Cam and his cousin Bloodshed. Rest in peace, Bloodshed, man. R.P. to Bloodshed. He's a real dude. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Rest in peace to him. You know what I mean?
RP
So
him.
yeah, so like that's where they started. Start out in Harlem. You know what I mean? And Mason and Cam would be everywhere together. You know what I mean? But then Mace got his deal first with Bad Boy, and then he bought when he bought Cameron into the game. He bought him the Biggie. He didn't even bring him to Diddy. He brought him Biggie because Biggie was starting a label with his friend Undies. You know what I'm saying? And that's how Undies Records got started and all that. But with Mace, he had a lot of street stuff going on with him. You know what I'm saying? When he was on Bad Boy, I'm not gonna name the names because these brothers ain't around and they're very well connected. You know what I'm saying? But those who know. You know what I mean? And he just decided that he didn't want to be involved in that, and he was already reading the Bible from what he was saying, and he just really
Mm-hmm.
wanted to give his life to the Lord. And that's what he did for a long time. And now it kind of seemed like he's trying to come back into the fold and do the hip hop thing again. So, you know, and OG can get more of the background as far as like his deal with Diddy and all that, because I know she know more about that. You know what I mean? Shout out also to Big Gene Dill, who be giving the scoops too on that. Gotta give him
You
a shout out.
already know.
You already know.
That's my dude.
From St. Louis. St. Louis song.
Salute to Big Gene Deal. That's my dude. I
Yeah.
interviewed him. I'm
Yeah.
real cool
So
with Big Gene.
what I was saying was I wasn't saying that his pockets was hurt. I was saying as far as what the fans is listening to now. They listening to all these youngsters. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I
what
felt like
makes
if he
it
was to come on, I don't even think it'll probably be a few people that'll listen to him. But I don't think that he could get over the numbers of what these youngsters is making. That's what I'm saying.
well, no, I mean he's older now, so what he's doing now is he's doing another avenue. He's working with the younger rappers now, trying to get them to write better lyrics to kind of move away from a lot of that gangster stuff and the drill stuff that's causing a detriment to the community. He did an interview and said that because Mace is a hell of a writer. I mean, Mace wrote for so many people, y'all only probably on their songs of rap, include Cream Puff Honeycombs. Just the same way Biggie did. They wrote damn near everything for Bad Boy Records for a lot of their artists, right? So now Mace is older and he's like, when he had, I think it was Fabio, was his name Fabio or whatever, they was gonna work together. And some went down with that, and then Mace talked about
Fabio Foreign. Shout out to Fivy.
Yeah, and Mace talked about how he hate that him and Cameron, situation, how they lost friendship, and it a lot of times it be over, somebody a little bit big headed or don't want to rock with this narrative or whatever. I don't know what happened between them. He really didn't go into it, but I had heard about it. But the thing with Mace is that
It was a book. I think it was a book he came out with. 84. It was a book that he came out with.
Mace?
Yeah,
Mace book.
Yeah, it was a book that he came out with that had Cameron name in it, Jim Jones name or something. I don't even know what this book called. Maybe 84. You probably know. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I remember he did write a book, but when you walk away, just imagine, think about almost every person that's been on that label either found some form of religion or they end up dying broke or damn near broke. So what was wrong with that picture, right? Well, that label was a blessing and a curse at the same time. If you really look at it, because there's only so many that survive Bad Boy Records, right?
Yeah. Those are talented people on that label, man.
So now what Mace is trying to do as someone older in the game is to get some of these young up and coming artists and showing them a different way, teaching them about writing, teaching them about the business side of the music. Because when they came in the game, they didn't know. They signing contracts. They didn't have no entertainment attorneys. So of course they bought into it because these are kids coming from the hood that want to get out the hood and have some kind of wealth and doing what their talent allowed them to do. And Mace was a hell of a writer. hell of a writer. And then when he switched over from the gangster rap and started being appealing more to the ladies, he found his lane and his niche, right? Then he started writing for other rappers and stuff like that. So yeah, I think what he coming out is talking about is he said it seemed like his own slash ex producer friend of the president of this label was trying to keep him down. He talked about that in the interview that he did. He was like, I'm just saying, like, why dude trying to like keep me here when he up here and you not trying to take me with you, or I'm telling you I want to go to the next level. But a lot of times it's like people that's the same way in these YouTube streets and life in general. It's certain people that only want to see you at a certain level. And and God forbid if you try to get close to them. So it's so much of that evil part of that that's in the music industry, right? Like one of my girlfriends, I plan on interviewing her, right? Like I remember her, and I met her when she was selling her CDs on the streets, and I was managing a girls group. And I'm on interview her, have her come. She's a 2-time Grammy winner right now for working with Kanye West and John Legend. And she's on tour right now with Slick Rick. But I remember her when she was selling her CDs on the street. And I supported her and bought one. And that's how we met. So, it's a different time and era. It's a different situation when all of them came up not knowing the business. Now they know the business because they know they got cheated out of millions of dollars. And now they coming up and saying, let me get this young person a game. Let me show this young person it's another way, that you can write better lyrics, that you can do this or that and the other. If you want to be independent, this is the route you need to go.
Okay. Real quick, I will be leaving like in 15 minutes. DJ, Mr. Intellectual Soapbox, you guys are more welcome to stay if y'all want to.
Yeah.
Other than that, if not, I'll close it out like at 9:30 Pacific time. Go ahead, Be Easy. I think he was trying to say something.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to just add on to what everyone else was saying, because a lot of cats don't really put enough respect on Mace, Murder Mace, Mason Betha, whatever you want to call him. But just like Mr. Intellectual Soapbox was saying, he originally started out with Cameron, who was fire, you know what I mean? One of my favorite rappers, but they was also in a group, like he said, called Children of the Corn being short for corner, but Big L was in there. Shout out to Big L, you know what I mean? And Herb McGruff and Bloodshed too. So they was a part of that too, but Big L was one of the dopest lyricists that died prematurely. But just to put some respect on Mace's name, bro, that Harlem World album is fire.
Yes.
Actually, don't take my word for it. Look it up. Quadruple platinum. How many trap rappers that went quadruple platinum? You know what I mean? Even the other even his other albums, people thought Double Up was trash. People thought Welcome Back was trash. You know what? They were certified gold, not certified garbage. Certified gold.
That's true.
So it's like when people say, "Oh, so and so fell off," how could someone fall off if you have one album that's quadruple platinum? That's a lifetime achievement. You can't be going around saying people fall off, right? When they give this, like someone saying Denzel fell off. How? You know what I mean? Because he haven't made a movie recently. So that's all I want to say about Mace. Like
or Stevie Wonder, because he ain't made music in forever. He done fell off. He a freaking musical genius. Like, come on.
Yeah, some people get like the lifetime achievement awards, and not everyone can get that. So with these certain drill rappers, they may be hot right now for 2022, but when you look overall, like right now, no one would probably go to a Mace concert, right? But if you compare Mace stats to the hottest drill rapper right now, it's not even a comparison. They're not even
Facts.
in the same league. And let me
What?
just tell
Better
y'all
put some
this,
respect on Mace's
What?
name.
bro. That song "Can't Nobody
Hold on,
Hold
hold
Me
on. You
Down"
said
was a top Billboard hit that made #1.
you
Both the "Can't Nobody Hold Me Down"
you said
and
that
"More
you can't
Money, More
compare
Problems."
Woo!
the truth. You said
Mace,
you
Mace
can't
had
compare
them
Mace
hits,
to a
man.
drill rapper. You can't compare Mace to a drill rapper. That's what you're saying.
I said these current drill. I mean, you hold on. You could. I'm saying you can compare. You can compare
Oh,
anything. You can compare peanut butter jelly to chicken, right? But does it make any sense? So yes, you can pick a drill rapper and say, "Hey, I want to compare this person." But what exactly are we comparing? If we want to talk about lyricism, they can't compare to
yeah.
Mace. Most of them is mumble rapping.
Man,
If you want to talk
You
about
lyricism,
right.
overall
You
sales,
right.
they can't compare to
all that.
Mace.
Like Mace
You
So
was
like,
it before.
you
what
Before it
comparison
comparing
are
was
we talking
Jay.
about? Age?
you
Yeah,
comparing going to an authentic Italian restaurant to eating Chef Boyardee out of a
Right.
can.
Exactly,
word.
Quinn. Right.
I mean,
No
before Jay was
comparison.
Jay, it was
That's like
Mace. You know what I'm saying?
Forget
eating McDonald's
You know what I
Big
video.
Mac
mean?
and comparing it to
You
a
know, and
real burger,
Mace
purple meat.
said, I was murdered. P Diddy made me pretty. Did it
I'm
for the
saying
money.
put
Now
some
can you
respect
get
on the
with
guy
me?
name.
Know what I'm saying? Yo, Mace was the dude. He was the dude before Jay became Jay. And then,
True that.
X came in and
Hold
kicked
on,
in the door. So, yeah.
hold on. Why you over there looking at me? Come
Why you
on,
get
bro.
standing here? Come on, man. Come on,
What are we
man.
talking
I'm with
about
you.
here?
Oh my God.
Man, Mace kept them lights on in Bad Boy. I'm telling you. He kept them lights on, man. He kept them lights on. And I mean,
Mace
this is
was
during
PG&E.
this is during
I
this is Bad Boy during All About the Benjamins Bad Boy. This is Bad Boy. This is Bad Boy when Bad Boy was really, really, really crazy successful. And it's funny that they became the most successful after Biggie was already gone. Like that's when they made the most money. Like once he was gone, man, they was out of there. They was through the roof. You know what I'm saying? Like they was through the roof. That Pete that Bad Boy album, that the first one with All About the Benjamins and
yeah,
all
the
that on it.
family.
Yeah, that man,
Oh yeah, that was crazy. The
crazy.
That,
Been
Locks
around the
was
world.
wilding on album.
yeah, but
Oh my gosh.
you can't. But I'm saying that what I was saying. I don't feel like you can
The
compare
one
him
with
to no.
Bone Thugs.
I feel like you can't compare him
Mm.
to no new drill rapper though. That's what I'm saying because he had. I'm saying the times has changed. Times is different. You can't really compare him to no drill rapper.
But
And then a lot of times a lot of these rappers ain't mumble rapping. As a matter of fact, a lot of these rappers is really telling on themselves. Not all of them, but a lot of them be telling on themselves, telling what the things that they doing. So
the
they ain't too
accolades,
mumbling. They
you
actually
can,
have talent, but they just chose to talk about other things.
but they don't have no accolades. It don't matter what kind of music you're making today, or whether it
It
was
does
5 years.
matter. It does matter.
Hold on. No, it don't. Because if
Yes,
you
it
ain't got no
does.
accolades, or no medals, you trash.
They
That's
got
just like that's trash.
who ain't got no
It's trash.
medals? Who ain't got
I'm
medals?
just saying they ain't winning no
Who?
Grammys.
Who?
Who does
They
have
ain't going
medals?
triple,
Wait.
whatever he said,
Grammys.
platinum. They not doing
Who
that
not winning no
because
Grammys?
this crap whack music today.
So
This
there's
trip
so there's
dip
nobody. So
flip
there's none of
bust
them
your
that
lip.
won any Grammys. You saying there's nobody that winning no Grammys
So
today?
this drill music they winning Grammys.
I'm asking you.
I'm
You said
asking
that
you.
you
I
said
don't
they're
listen to
not
the
winning no
track.
Grammys. You said they
I
not.
don't see them.
Lil
So I'm
Nas
saying,
X
I don't see
is.
them going triple platinum or whatever he
Little
said.
Nas X. Lord have mercy.
I
Well,
don't see them.
the thing about it is they don't care about the awards. They just want to
they really
make the
don't.
money and have the wealth and the popularity. They don't care about not winning the
They,
Well,
Grammy or
they
American
don't.
Music
They
but
don't.
Award
they
or
can't
Oscar.
even.
You
But
absolutely right.
they not even staying around long enough to enjoy it
I was
anyway.
about to say that they're not
That
even living
part,
long
that
enough.
part. Now that
Who's the
part.
They ain't
buffoons?
even living long enough.
Keep playing with your life.
Yeah, but
Good
at the end,
luck. And
but
at the end of the day, when someone deletes them, don't nobody talk about them because they done up.
yeah,
They
but
Or they
bum.
go, or they
also
They
go to
trash.
jail,
but
or they
also
go to jail.
Yeah, but y'all don't even know their situation. So why even speak on it? Y'all don't even know the situation. Y'all ain't even over there.
It's
Y'all
trash.
ain't even
Don't
over
need to
there. It
speak
don't
on it.
matter. It don't matter. They talking about
But
what's
the
going on in their hood though.
Not even for sure about that
They
question.
talking about what's going on in their hood. You can't speak on
look
something
at
you
the
ain't
first
who
one
is
there.
in
that?
advance.
Who is that?
This
Young
is
thug
first.
that can't get out on bail. They
Yeah,
won't let him out. I mean,
the YSL
come on.
crew. Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
just them
come
though.
on.
It's not. It's a lot of gangs. It's not just them.
Yeah.
They just the top
The
news
things
right now.
the things they're doing with their music, you know what I mean, is unproductive. It's not beneficial. It's not beneficial for them in the long run because they're not even living to see the success.
And
You know what I mean?
definitely not for the
Oh,
Yeah,
culture.
they feel like it
OG
is.
OG Patrice shared about Mo 3. Mo 3 was super talented, man.
Yeah, he
When
was.
I heard that brother, I was blown away. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then when I looked into his story, I was sad that he was gone. I was like, yo, he dead? Like he
Facts.
gone for
I'm
real?
telling you. You
You know
Yeah.
what I'm
talking about
saying?
could rap and could sing.
Sing,
But
He
yes.
listen,
okay.
man. They don't even know like the level Mo 3 was headed before his tragic demise. It's sad that that situation happened the way it did. But yeah.
I'm telling
Yeah,
y'all
but
better bring
people
back the
already
Luthers.
people already was into it before people even jumped on the music. Folks was already into it in the streets before the music. That's the thing. They was already into it. We don't even
Yeah,
have this
that's
out
why
here in the
they
home.
gotta move away from where they're at. You know what I'm saying? Move away from where you at.
A lot of times
Don't don't
that don't work. They got family that don't even want to move. Like for example, my uncle, I keep telling him to move out of certain areas. He don't want to move if he feels like it's home to him. I'm not going to put a gun to his head to make him move.
Chief Keef moved. He
So
left
so when they
Chicago and
choose
moved
they
to
don't
moved to
move.
Calabasas. Chief Keef
True.
made the move.
True.
I'm talking about some people that don't want to move because a lot of their parents don't want to move. So they stay there to protect their family. That's why.
Hey, look,
You know,
man.
if they can't get to these rappers, they're gonna get to their parents. That's how I go.
Hey, look. I'm taking mama, daddy, the cat, the dog, everybody. I don't care if we gotta live in one bedroom apartment. Look, we out of here. We are getting the hell up out of here. Especially if they looking for you, like it's just time to go. You know what I mean? It's time to go. It's time to get up out of here. It's time to roll. Because your life is number one. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And that's what's really, 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 really key. Your life has to be number one. Everything else don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Your life and the livelihood of the people around you, that's gotta be key. So I don't care if we gotta live in the same house together. Like I said, I don't care if we gotta live in a studio together. We getting out of here. We are leaving. Okay?
Yeah,
I don't care if we gotta do some Airbnbs. We getting out of here.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
It's easy for
Like
you to
it don't make no sense for somebody to stick in an environment knowing that this environment is toxic and knowing that it's potentially going to kill you. You know what I mean? And the proof is in the pudding. Like it's happened so many times. You know what I mean? And look, you can keep it real, but let's keep it alive. You know what I mean? Like I want to live. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to not be here. I want to live, and I want to live for a long time. And I wish these young guys would have that mentality.
And not end up like the young Dolphs and the Mo threes of the world that never
Woo.
left their hoods and things like that, or continue to go into the hood. I mean, Nipsey is a prime example of that.
Man.
When you try to build and give back and have the wealth in the hood that raised you, brought you up. This is what we do to each other, the detriment of what we do to each other. And that wasn't because of his music. That was because of just a mentality of another person that decided to play God in that moment.
And there's a lesson to that, and there's a lesson to that too, because the thing is, you could still do the things that you could do in your neighborhood, but you don't have to be obligated to stick around to your neighborhood. Word. I think when a rapper, okay, or just any musician or people in the industry, if you already like this high prestige type of person, and you already know that people are going to hate on you, your own people that's going to hate because of what you already doing because of your success, why stick around? I know that you want to show loyalty, to your neighborhood, and you want to show people that you're real and you're always willing to give back, which is great. But you could give back from a distance. Now, Okay, I wanna narrow this down real quick so we could bridge this gap together because Mr. Intellectual Soapbox, right? You know, if something the going gets tough, it seemed like it's easy just to find a solution to pretty much move out from that particular area. But DJ Eddie Kane, and I heard a little bit that you're saying like it's easy said than done.
Yeah, I was going to
So
get to
what
it.
what is it that is hard for a person to get out of a neighborhood when the solution is to move out from the neighborhood?
Okay, so here's the thing, though, right? They keep talking about moving like that's supposed to change something. That don't change shit. For example, you don't even you can move from the gangs, but guess what? You got a lot of fans who love a certain rapper that could get the drop on you. That could get the drop on you wherever you go. And then, especially there's money involved. Like, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this 100 bands to somebody else and get them. That's how that works. And a lot of these rappers get caught up like
No,
that.
you're right. That's
They don't
true.
even be part of. They don't even be part of the gang that you even beefing with. They don't even be part of that. They just take the bread and just do what they do. They don't even know you and don't care to know you. Look, I want that money. Boom. That's how. Yeah.
Okay,
So
like a hitman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then, Mr. Intellectual Soapbox. So then, what is your rebuttal to that? Like,
I mean, if there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I grew up in one of the craziest neighborhoods in Brownsville. I don't live there no more. Mike Tyson grew up there. He don't go there no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to get out and you don't want to be a part of something, you can get out. OG Patrice said Chief Keef did it. It can be done. If you don't want to be somewhere, you don't have to be there. You know what I'm saying? And these guys make enough money where they don't have to be anywhere. You know what I mean? They can actually go anywhere they really literally want around the world. You know what I'm saying? And they can go and be profitable and live very comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have to be stuck in those neighborhoods. You know what I mean? You don't have to be stuck. Look, if a regular person ain't got to be stuck, like myself, I'm regular. If I ain't got to be stuck, nobody has to be stuck. It is your choice. You choose what you want to be a part of. You know what I mean? I understand a lot of these guys, they want to keep it real. They want to keep it cool or gangster or whatever. Or they want to still show that they got hood love. Look, listen. If these people really love you, they want to see you alive. They want to see you raising your kids. They want to see you seeing your kids graduate, getting married, being successful, doing things, seeing you become a grandfather. If they really cared about you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing. You can have homies, but your homies, if they really your homies, and they really people that really care about you, they're gonna push you to positivity. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing I always think, like my uncles and a lot of people that I see growing up and a lot of OGs for in my neighborhood, they pushed me away from everything. You know what I mean? Because they didn't want me to be a part of none of that garbage. Now they chose to do certain things, but they was like, nah, you smart. Like you got something, you got a future ahead of you. You're not getting into none of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have to do. When we see somebody has potential, we need to push them out of the negativity. And we've seen it. We've seen all. I mean, most of the music acts that we look up to, they can even be Michael Jackson himself. They came from bad neighborhoods. Gary, Indiana is terrible. Terrible.
Well,
One of the
it's
worst.
terrible now. It wasn't terrible then.
It wasn't terrible then. It wasn't terrible then, but Joe still wanted to get out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Because he didn't want to work that factory job no more. And I ain't mad at him.
Exactly.
M3.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we could look at any artist. We could look at literally mostly any artist that we know that's a black artist, right? Look at any of them. You know what I mean? They wanted to get out of their situation. They wanted to get out of the neighborhood. They wanted to get out of the places they were at. They did not want to stay. You know what I mean? Because they felt like, yo, me staying here is not safe. And now when you definitely doing hip hop, and I agree with the hip hop artists right now, it is the most dangerous profession. You know what I mean? If you choose to be an artist, it is. Because your life expectancy is low. So if you're doing it, definitely find a different, you know, even if you just start out gangster, you kind of want to turn it and do the main thing, do that. Start talking to the ladies or whatever. Or do like what Hitmaker did, like Youngberg, Hitmaker. What he did was he completely changed his whole style up. Went in the background, started making beats, moved around, got away from everything that he was doing. You know what I mean? Started getting his money, got low, and he's building an empire, and he has an empire. So if there's a will, there's a way. You can, especially if you have money and resources. Like I said, regular people do this without as much money and resources. So if you want to get out, you can get out. You know what I mean? And you can get your family out. If they want to come. If they don't want to come, yo, you got to leave them. You know what I mean? If they don't want to come. So that is what it is.
Okay,
So let me respond. Can I respond to that?
Yeah. So, real quick, right? I'm gonna let you guys like rebuttal, but I'm about to head on out so I can get ready for work. But just go ahead and rock it out, everybody. All right.
Item 3.
All right. Good night, everybody. Go ahead, DJ King.
Okay.
Later,
So
bro.
Good night.
Okay. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
What I was saying is Chief Keef was totally a whole new. That's a different person. When he was growing up in his situation, it was a lot of fights. It was a lot of that. It was a lot of robberies, all kind of stuff. He was never on the level of Little Dirk. They're two totally different people. Everybody know what Chief Keef is. Everybody know what type of business he run. Everybody know that. So they know where he is. See, he's still breathing because there has been no blood has been spilled. He's lost a few family members or whatever, as far as what certain family members was doing. And it really had nothing to do with being part of the game. That was something totally different. Now, as far as young Dirk is concerned, that was blood spilled over there. So it's totally different. So Chief Keef can get out because there has been no blood spilled.
You mean
Lil
Young
Durk,
Dolph?
on the other hand, no.
You mean Young Dolph?
I'm not talking about Young Dolph. I said
Lil Durk? Lil Durk?
Chief Keef. Listen, Chief Keef and Lil Durk, totally
Lil Durk.
Two different rappers. Even though they both rap and do the little drill thing, but it's totally two different situations. Lil Durk, blood has been spilled. Chief Keef have not. That's the difference. That's why that's how he can get out. Lil Durk can't get out. Wherever he go, he can't get out. Anywhere. He can't go nowhere. You got fans all over the world that loves a specific rapper that you are beefing with. He really don't have to even put no money on your head. Anybody that's a fan of this other rapper gets the drop on you. That any rapper, any fans that's part of that love this rapper get the drop on you. They either decide to take the money or they do it for free, just out of love and loyalty for a certain rapper. So he could go anywhere in the world. They still go. He can't run nowhere. Can't do nothing. You got to stay on your two toes. Can't go nowhere.
Maybe OG Patrice can speak to this more, but from what I know, once you're part of that set, like O Block or any of that, and you rapping about certain things, you dissing other sets and all that, you dissing your homies. You know what I mean? It's already been bloodshed on both ends.
Listen, O Block in Chicago. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, OG. Go ahead.
Now I was just gonna say, all of them came from that drill rap and O Block for the most part. Some of them, even FBG Duck, the one that lost his life, and King Von, the one that lost his life in Atlanta. Listen, he left, right? The same way Lil Durk did. But look what happened. They came up in Lil Durk's house, right? So it, to a certain extent, you can't run from it. But Chief Keef is in Calabasas, where he probably heavily guarded, gated community, heavy security. It's a difference probably from where he lived in Calabasas as opposed to where Lil Durk lived in Atlanta. Maybe Lil Durk moved, I'm sure, if he got any sense now, since that whole incident that happened to him in Atlanta. But that's what King,
the home invasion, yes.
Yeah, and that's what King Von got deleted at, right? King Von, same thing, in Chicago. Him, Lil Durk, FBG Duck, Keith Chief, and all of them are from Chicago. Even though they from a younger generation, I knew all about O Block and that whole set over there being from Chicago. He and my nephew is one of the biggest producers in Chicago that produced for a lot of up and coming big Chicago rappers now coming out of Chicago. And I plan on interviewing him too. I just want y'all to know that. But anyway, yes,
ma'am.
And he talks about, he's like, as a producer, that's gonna be his ticket out, out of the hood in Chicago where he lived. Not that he lived in the hood, but I mean just in the inner city, but he works with a lot of them. He talks about that's his ticket out. And I get it. I said, nephew, I get it. He makes some banging beats or whatever, and he's got popularity and all of that, but he stays away from that part of that lifestyle just because he produced for them. They pay him very well, but he don't have anything to do with that lifestyle per se. So it's a difference when you come from like O Block and all of them, like Lil Durk and King Von and all of them, and then they had beef. I don't know, what the situation was with FBG Duck, but listen, he downtown shopping. So when they know that you still staying in the hood and and you still going to certain areas, and you shopping downtown Chicago. They got them in downtown Chicago, y'all. Real talk. So
Yeah.
It to a certain extent, if you don't have the right people, security, and things around you, like when all of that incident happened, keep cheap bounce, move to Calabasas, up to security in out there where them Kardashians them live in Calabasas out there, and Janet Jackson and all of them. It's a level now that he went to where he ain't easily got to. If he gets easily got, it's probably because it's a hole within his own organization.
Just like that other young boy, Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know what I mean? He got a whole bunch of security around him, and he got different people around him because you have to do that. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys, they cannot roll by themselves. You know what I mean? And that's why it's important for them to, you know what I mean? To, like I said, if you can, use the security game up, like OG is saying, and get up out of there. Okay? Get up out of there. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. He's so hopeful.
And stop performing at these hood places in Atlanta and Chicago.
That's another one.
Like
6ix9ine do not.
You can't be doing that. Like that where you easily can be, that's all I'm saying. Yeah. But y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but Mr. Vince, 6ix9ine it's not really security. It's the same homies that he been kicking it with around him. That's not security.
Oh, what about that dude too that moved away? Smoked somebody that got
them,
what's that rapper? Smoke somebody?
Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke. Look, he moved away. Look what happened. So
he was on vacation. OG.
He was on vacation.
He was on vacation.
He was on vacation and come back to what happened to him, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, he was on vacation and he posted his location on IG.
What'd you say?
Okay, they said the same thing about Mo3, that it's females that set him up.
Then it was some other dude. He wasn't that big, but I just seen it like a couple weeks ago. He was saying, "F all of my ops. I'm posting my address."
Oh yeah, I seen that.
What dude said that?
His ops literally came and deleted him.
Some young rapper, man. I forget his name, but he wasn't really that big. He just started.
He was in like Florida or something.
Yeah, and he told them where they was at, and they came and they came and got him.
I mean, of course, you drop your location. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they came and got him.
Can't do that.
If I'm gonna post my vacation pictures talking about I'm in Hawaii, I'm gonna already been there and gone. Like I'm posting it after I
he talking about that. He talking about the address, the street, the number, everything. He posted everything.
Yeah, he was live. He was showing them like, I dare y'all. And this is the thing. This is why I be careful. You know what I mean? I don't be
come see me mentality gotta stop.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Like people on the virtual world, they have a distorted view of reality. You know what I mean? It's virtual reality and it's actual reality, and people let the virtual reality kind of substitute for actual reality. So they get on here and they believe I can say anything because someone said, hey, people will say, hey, YouTube is not real, Twitter is not real. Okay, to an extent, I'll give you that, right? But the people on there is real. The consequences for what you say and do is real. And not everybody, hey, you may not go pull up on an op, you know what I mean, to delete him off of something that he said, but you can't just expect everyone else to be that cordial and courteous, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So people, that's why I don't engage in back and forth bickering and belly aching. To me, that's kind of like some, effeminate type of stuff, you know what I mean, that I don't care to engage into. But a lot of people do that, and they'll say stuff behind the protection of their keyboard or behind the protection of Zoom or StreamYard, but no software could protect you. You know what I mean? Not even proximity could protect you. Like OG's Patrice said, they put up on FBG. He basically was in like a Beverly Hills rodeo. You know what I mean? Think of the most
down on Michigan Avenue. Down on Michigan Avenue.
He was in the most prestigious area of the city. They didn't care. He was buying jewelry in front of a jewelry shop. You know what I mean? So people don't care. They will fly to different states. You know, you think, oh, I said that 2 months ago, 2 years ago. Just because you might forgot doesn't mean someone else has forgot. So I think
Mm-hmm.
people need to be careful with not only the words, but just the level of aggression they bring into these words. Because I be seeing certain channels where their whole premise is not to like come to understanding. I don't have a problem with disagreements. I'm okay with disagreement. I'm not okay with disrespect. And people have got too comfortable with disrespect. I see people that's 6'5", 300 pounds, and even they ain't fighting. So when you got bodybuilders that's not even fighting, they are grabbing weaponry. People is calling cops on people. You know what I mean? People is threatening people's family member, bringing up deceased people. That this is not like a time to just be playing with people. You know what I mean? You know, inflation, everything going up. It's a lot of unstable human beings out on this earth. So I would advise anybody, don't be playing with people in real life or on these
Yeah,
panels, just thinking you can say whatever. You can say whatever.
Facts.
Just don't
yeah,
be surprised at the outcome.
and and be easy, and you know, I'm sure you up to date on this rapper, you know, Quando Rondo. You know, they making fun of him, the way how he was in pain when he lost his homie. I mean, it's a thousand millions of people making fun of him. You know, that can turn a man into something that's dangerous.
It is.
That's
Especially, see, this is the thing. People always know about the term poke the bear. Poke the bear is cliche, right? And then people kind of just say it loosely, but like, let's truly unpack it. Let's draw the true parallels of you, a human being, poking a big grizzly bear. If you know you wouldn't do that in real life, you wouldn't really poke a bear in real life. You wouldn't even get into a close proximity with a bear. But then you'll acknowledge I'm a bear. You'll poke at me. You know what I mean?
mhm,
You'll clown me. And then if I do something that's in the nature of a bear, now you want to cry. Oh my
right,
God, look at what the bear done. It
right,
happened in San Francisco at the zoo. They was teasing the tiger. Nana nana boo boo.
Mm-hmm.
Tiger jumped over the gate and
yeah,
unfortunately terminated the person. And they
yeah,
were saying, put that tiger to sleep. How could he do that? You mean how could a wild animal be wild? Now the zoo was partially at fault because the gate was supposed to be 12 feet, but it was
yeah,
actually 10. So tigers, bro, like they average 600 plus pounds, jumped
yeah,
over a 10-foot gate to get after someone that was teasing them. That's
yeah. I
what
saw that.
savage beasts and wild animals do. So people
Yeah,
need to be careful who they playing with. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And you
yeah,
know what I mean? If somebody is a gangster, a real reputable figure in the streets, you can equate them to a tiger or a savage beast. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be in the jungle throwing water bottles at a tiger. So you shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be on looking at somebody that's has bodies or is around people that body stuff, and then you want to make like little memes and stuff about them. You can do it, but it is consequences. And I'm not
consequences.
advocating for anything violent, but if you don't understand the ramifications of what you say and do, then you might
This
end
is
up
what happened.
victimized.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely right. And I'd advise like the youngsters have to stop doing that. Stop doing it because it's gonna be a time to where it's gonna be like 3 years past. You may forget about the things you said, and but they ain't gonna forget. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they might catch you at Fry's or Best Buys or something, and they still remember what you said. So y'all gotta be careful, man. Like people, they really kill it each other.
Hey, and
These
now
young really
people want
kill
to
each other.
post everything. Just went to In-N-Out Burger on my way to the movie theaters on Franklin Street, going to the car meet at Webster Street. People literally chronicle every movement. So you
Every
making it
movement.
easy for your ops. People saying I got ops, but you tagging every spot that you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
agree. They want to be seen. They want to be seen so bad instead of posting it after the fact they've been there and gone. They choose to want to flash, oh, I'm vacationing over
Yeah, they
here.
like I
Like
gotta have it
literally
in the
while they're
moment, huh?
there, like somebody can't get on the plane and go where their asses are. Like, stop it. Like,
Yeah, somebody
I,
can somebody spend two bands and come all the way where you at just to get that chain. That
and
two
they'll
hundred
most
fifty
definitely
thousand
do
dollar
it.
chain. Yeah, they would.
Yeah, well, when it comes to, the music and the influence, I'm gonna get back on the subject before I head out. Definitely if you are I say any kind of up and coming artist, especially in rap, where it seems that they are literally pushing the entertainment industry is literally pushing a certain sector forward more than others. I came from the time with the conscious rap. I came from the time with the self destruction. I came from the time with the fight the power.
Mm.
I came from those eras. I came even with the LL Cool J. I need love and rock the
Hey.
bells and
Tommy
like
B was good with it.
that's my era right there. And I still rock that today. I raised my son on old school. He is now raising his kids on old school. They went viral for doing my grandkids, literally the twins went viral for singing a Cool in the Gang song. Like so it is
Mm.
what you instilling
Which cool in the
in.
game? Which cool in the gang? OG, I love cool in the game
Oh,
right
they
now.
did
The gay, I love him.
celebrate. Oh, they did celebrate. They
Woo!
literally sung the song word for word and it went viral. And this song was out way before they were even thought about, right?
Hey,
But
my
it
favorite
was
cool in the
just
gang song is "She's Fresh."
yeah, I like Fresh. Yeah, I like Fresh.
Oh
But
man,
but this
exciting!
this is the difference that you can make. The same way I raised my son on old school. Me, not to say that he don't like because his favorite rapper is Jay-Z. So I'll just put that out there. Not to say that he
Okay.
don't like a lot of the new school stuff, but he is decades behind me. But his heart and soul, if you look at his what do you call the thing on the list of songs, the playlist
Playlist, huh?
majority old school, and I'm glad. So it does make a difference what you instilling in your kids and what you raising them to listen to. I was
Yes.
raised to listen to the old school music in my household. My background is music, y'all know that. So
Mm-hmm.
my son had to listen to the music where the words and the lyrics meant something. It was content behind it. It was a consciousness behind it. He got LL Cool J on his playlist and things like that, and he got a mixture. He got some Nas on it. He got some Jay-Z on it. So I get it. I get it. It's certain music out now that I will listen to and go see, but I'm old school all the way. Give me my Shaka Khan. Give me my Marvin Gaye.
Shaka
Listen, give me
Khan.
them. You
Mm.
understand? So give me my Gladys Knight. Give me them people because them people was my era and made a difference in my life and influenced my life. So when we want to talk about the influence,
Mr.
that
Best.
music, it is an
Mm-hmm.
influence. It truly is an influence. Let's not act like it's not. When you grow up on old school music and it influenced, and that's all you grew up listening to from your parents and on and on and on, it is an influence. So that helped me influence my son, and he's now influencing his children. So it definitely makes a difference. It starts in the household first, to where you are allowing what are you allowing your children to hear, the ear. Like I told you, like I was outdone when my ex-daughter-in-law talking about she want to take my grandbabies to see some goddamn Megan Thee Stallion. Hell to the no, I
Mm-mm.
won't spend $1 on Megan, on Cardi. Now, if you want to spend your money on it, because see, you got them in church now. You got them in church damn near 7 days a week. You supposed to be all
Mm.
holier than thou, but you want to take them to see Meg the Stallion, where you know how she gonna dress, where you know, like, come on, you stop it with the hypocrisy. And I'm sorry, I had to tell her ass that. Stop it.
No, no, OG, you good, you good. Does anybody have any closing statements, man, before I close this thing out, man? Anybody any closing? Because I'm about to be out, and the OG about to be out. Anybody got any closing statements? Anybody?
You laughing at me.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I'll
no,
say something
that's
'cause
man.
I gotta
Rap
take off
music
too.
today sucks.
Go ahead, B. Easy.
Oh yeah, I would say that this is a good appetizing discussion, but you can't get the whole entree of this topic just in one sitting in one session. So this is a topic that has to be revisited. But I think that everyone brought a very valuable perspective. I just would say that it's if we're talking about personal responsibility, then everyone has to be a little bit better. The record labels, the artists, the consumers, but uh the I think the consumers need to understand, just like the artists, how much power they actually have. A lot of these things, even though it is social engineering and conditioning, um without your say so and financial approval, they would be forced to change things. They would be reluctant to do it. They may not want to do it, but in a capitalist nation, things are driven by power and money. You know what I mean? So people need to
Mm-hmm.
exercise their parental power, their consumer power, and basically stand up to what they don't believe in and what they don't like and appreciate, and actually support more of what they do like and appreciate. So I see a lot of people talking more about the type of music, genre, rappers, and artists that they don't like, and literally will be hours about artists and music that they don't like, and literally can't even spend 10 minutes talking about artists that they do like. So I think more people should be promoting more of the positive rappers, more of the positive music, and positive message, right? Music can deliver some things, but to just say, oh, I wish music has a positive message, and dang, why doesn't this music have a positive message? If you need positivity, you don't even just have to get it from music. There's plenty of books, shows, and just pleasant people that will offer you a positive experience. So I don't think people need to be limiting themselves and essentially begging for artists to make positive music, because there are plenty that make it, but you need to seek it out. That's all I got for y'all.
Yo, be easy. Thank you, man. Easily Rig. We'll be on tomorrow, y'all. Okay, tomorrow Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Y'all already know they about to bring it up in the stuck. Y'all already know what it is. Look, man, as a great Nazir Jones says, say the music, y'all. Say the music, y'all. Say the music. All right, man. The music is positive. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing when it's used correctly. And man, you know what I mean? We know the classic stuff. We know the good stuff. Let's get back to that. You know what I mean? So that we can really start really, changing our image, changing our outlook. And shout out to the artists who still are doing that positive music, man. We know it ain't
Facts.
easy. We
Yes.
know we know that y'all struggling sometimes. And we know that sometimes y'all not getting the support that y'all deserve. You know what I mean? But never, never, never let the legacy that we have had for so long completely just go away and die. Like, continue to fight for that. I support you. We support you. You know what I mean? And definitely continue to do that. You know what I mean? Whether you're young, old, whatever, music has no age. You know what I mean? That's the beautiful thing about it. Anybody can make some bomb music. So definitely, y'all, please put that love and positivity back in the music so we can really start being loving and positive towards each other. That's all I got, y'all.
Yeah, with the Jerry curls, bring the Jerry curls back with the suits and stuff, man.
Not to Jerry Curl. No, no,
Okay.
like no DJ. Now DJ Eddie King. No. Not to Jerry Curl. The drip, the drip, the drip, the drip.
The drip.
The drip. Follow the drip. Follow the drip.
You get it
Mercy.
first,
Hey, they
DJ
had some
Eddie.
style. They had some style back in the day.
Eddie, you get it first, and we'll follow.
I listen. It's not gonna drape that much. I'll get it. It ain't gonna drip that much though. I
Well, I'm gonna
Man.
say this in closing, in the words of one of the best R&B soul rappers, not rappers, but songwriters of all time, which is Lionel Richie. Tell you how old school I am. I love
Lionel
him.
Richie.
Him and Smokey
Lord.
Robinson wrote some of the most powerful, prolific songs ever,
Yep.
probably in y'all parents and grandparents era. But he said something so profound on. I just happened to be watching one episode of American Idol. He said, when you take that 4-letter word out of songs, rap, no matter what, he said, look what we got in today's world. He said, when I wrote so many of them love songs, LOVE, he said, I made so much money just off of that 4-letter word, because it's so much you can rap talk, sing, write about from their 4-letter words. He said, but society has taken them 4-letter words out of almost every genre in music. And he said, and look what we got. So I'll leave y'all with that.
They replaced it with a 5-letter, 3-letter, 2-letter.
Lord have mercy. But yeah, y'all. Much love, y'all. Thanks for tuning in on Relationship. Hit the like and subscribe button. All right. And also,
Stop
please leave
letting
a
this
comment.
music control you.
Or please leave a comment at the end of the show. All right. That builds up our algorithm, helps us to grow. You know what I mean? And it helps us to be, at our best. So yeah.
Shout out to Mace again. I love you, Mace.
Mace was good, man. Mace was good.
Yes.
Was good.
Salute to you.
Word.
Yes. Salute to the chat too. Y'all was fire tonight.
Shout out to DMX.
Yeah, shout out to everybody,
me some DMX. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in paradise to X, man.
My alter ego.
Shout out to Keek. Shout out to Keek the Sneak. I had to throw one in there.
Shout out to Black Rob. Rest in peace.
Man. Shout out to all our artists, man, from everywhere, man. East Coast, everywhere, man. My bad. Shout out to everyone. Before I drop the
shout out to Biggie and Pac. Rest in peace, Biggie and Pac.
Word.
He did a remix.
Mac Dre. Shout out to Mac Dre.
Shout out to Michael Jackson, Prince.
Michael Jackson.
Shoo, man. Everybody, man. I love our music.
Shout out to Whitney Houston. Shout out. Rest in peace.
Pop Smoke, Young Dolph. Shout out to y'all too, man.
Man. The music will never die, y'all. The music will never die. You know what I mean? We will always represent the music, man. So yeah, y'all. Much love to y'all, man. We love all y'all. You know what I mean? Support your artists who are struggling musicians, man, who actually need your help. I just want to throw that out there real quick. And support us content creators too. You know what I mean? Because we artists
Facts.
too. You know what I mean? So support us too, all right? With that being said, man, much love, y'all. Like I said, hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment after we drop. All right, y'all.
Salute. Peace.
Later.
Knowledge and relationships.